RaceKraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a RaceKraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The RaceKraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no-compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.
race fans, it's the final round of the F3A World Series tonight, round number 14, live from Le Mans. What a great racetrack to visit, and a challenging one at that. And well, welcome aboard tonight. This is going to be very, very interesting to see how they can make their way around 13.626 kilometres of racetrack, 38 turns, full throttle percentage of the lap, all of it, says Christopher Mitchell. You'll be on full throttle for every inch of this racetrack. Tonight they're running the very, very, very thin rear wing. In fact, I thought there was an error when I first loaded in because I couldn't really see a rear wing at all on the car, but there is one. It's very, very thin. We'll try and pick up some action as the driver's just finishing up their lone qualifying session. Now we're going to take you straight down to the grid for the silver race tonight with, well, fuel window. It's 11 laps needed of fuel for silver tonight with a window of between lap 3 and 7. To take your pit stop tonight. So, well, strap yourself in. We're at Le Mans for the final round, round 14. Thanks to RaceKraft Simulations. Let's take you down to the track. Hopefully someone's going to get out there for a warm-up lap here and show us a bit of this circuit from the driver's seat. Hayden Coote heads out. Let's have a quick look at the qualifying results. As they get a 5-minute warm-up session, that'll hardly get you a lap around here. 3 minutes 50.7 top lap time there for Hayden Coote. Good job, puts himself in P1. He'll start on the front row with Shane Russell alongside Ben Arthur, and Scott Pocock will start off the second row with Brenton Hawkins and Sean Doyle, your top 6. And well, it is quite a gap there. You can see 6 seconds covered the top 15, the top 10 covered by just over a little over 3 seconds. So once we get into race settings, though, remember these times were done in a lone qualifying session, which means you had no draft at all in the race. Session, we're going to have a draft, so it will be very, very interesting. And hello, Tiffany Haley in the house. Nice to have you here for our, what is it tonight, 571st broadcast. Let's get rid of the music and take you across to the racetrack now and have a look at a couple of the drivers just getting themselves set up. And we're going to hear a lot of this tonight. Full throttle, pedal to the metal, and well, I don't know if these cars will last. Will they blow up? Will they be able to get through, you know, the full distance here? 35 minutes in the silver, 50 minutes later on in the gold. And the race, danger of a safety car in the opening lap, according to Christopher Mitchell, is extreme. This car drives like an overpowered Formula V. It can't turn, it can't stop. Expect chaos in the heat of the race. So there you go. Some series stats from Christopher as well, which is fantastic that he sent a few of these through. 82,493 kilometres have been virtually travelled between events for this series, and 1,220 minutes of racing, just over 20 hours of racing between the gold and the silver categories, and 224 hours worth of pre-qualifying was done. There is the safety car, Dave Roberts out there. Not sure if this will be needed tonight, but he's out there doing a couple of laps. Australian Formula 4 champion Dave Roberts, great to have him behind the wheel tonight of the safety car. And like I said, let's hope it isn't needed tonight. We've had 139 unique drivers in this competition competing across the 14-round championship, and it's been incredible to get to know many of them. Sam says, please no yellows. Who am I kidding? Well, a yellow flag around here will be huge. Won't it? A full course caution. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how they police that tonight and what they do, because a full course caution would mean a huge extended lap time. And I think it was 100 kph, the safety car speed, silver 200 kph for gold. That's why Dave Roberts is out there just dialing a bit of speed into the safety car. There's John Monday, privateer, number 23. I think last time I broadcast from here, it was actually a 24-hour, was it a 12-hour? I think it was a 24-hour event for our friends over in our Spanish league, which I no longer do. It was a very, very long evening, to say the least. And, well, it's going to be back, though, for a shorter style race, some sprint races. What's with Le Mans for F3s? And then we're going to, can you believe we're taking the V8 supercars to the Nürburgring, to the Nordschleife. Oh, dear, I think the safety car's had a little bit of a mingle there. He's gone off the track, comes back on. It's always good to see. But yes, it's some incredible stuff coming up here on RaceStars TV. Tiffany with the 500 stars. Big thanks to Tiffany, the Haley crew, all the fantastic race. I still watch the YouTube channel, Tiffany, don't worry. It's still a big subscriber. Watch all the updates. Absolutely love it. Thank you for the stars. And here we go. We've got about a minute to go now before we get underway. Hello to everyone on YouTube and Twitch as well. We've got Luke Stringer over there saying, good luck, everyone. Let's go, Ramisi. And we will have all the drivers, of course, from the gold server with us shortly too. A lot of them will watch this while they're just warming up, getting themselves ready for the race tonight. There is Christian Ramisi out on the racetrack. How can he go once we get into the swing of things? Let's flick over and we'll listen to a bit of the chatter tonight as well between the drivers. We do have the ability to do that, so we'll just listen in here and there. I do apologise in advance if we hear any naughty words tonight. Naomi Woodcock with the 200 stars as well. Thank you, Naomi. And 30 seconds to go. Padding a bit of time here. Brewer 74, nice to have you in the chat. Says, let's go Arthur. Tank SRT represent. Howdy Luke, says Will Wilson. He's in the house as well. And Spike Goddard says those F3s would run out of steam on those long straights at Le Mans. I think they're going to run out of steam. Well, maybe I'll run out of steam before they do tonight. We'll see how we go. We've got 2 hours of racing and we're about to go straight down to the grid now for the first one. So let's get some music happening and let's crank out the grid for our silver session tonight. These guys all wanting to make their way to gold for the next time the F3s visit us. Well, they're going to have a bit of a break, I can tell you that now. A couple of months off and then a bit of planning for the FRG guys before they come up with a new little category. Big thanks to the sponsors, RaceKraft Simulations, and of course we've had Christopher Mitchell as a sponsor, Mini Muscle Cars and KCG as well across this fantastic 14-round season. Let's go down to the grid now. It will be a standing start. Aiden Coote off the front row with Shane Russell starting alongside him. Ben Arthur starts from the second row with Scott Pocock. Then you've got Brenton Hawkins and Sean Doyle off that third row of the grid. Fourth row, it is Kalen Arthur and Robbie Griffiths. And Tim Schmellenberg starts with Andrew Johnson alongside Bradley Hudson out of 11, with Hazy out of P12 tonight. 13th on the grid will be Ben Johansson. John Monday starts alongside him 14th. Christian Ramisi and Lachlan Capel off the 8th row with Dave Roberts, and I think that's the safety car, shouldn't be there, but Lachlan's in 18th place. LeSueur will start 19th with Goodeve, Guest and Burt. I don't think setting a time in qualifying, hence why they are starting out of position there with the safety car, which will head to the pit lane. Let's get rid of the music and let's get set for this one and tag a few friends to watch along with this race tonight. Let's hope, like I said, we don't have a safety car. We want to try and get through this 35-minute race. The pit stop will be important. We're going to see a lot of drafting. Have a look at the rear wing on these cars, if you can call it a rear wing. There is not much there at all. And, well, some of our onboard cameras tonight, you can hardly see that wing in the background. Look at that. Sitting on board with Aiden Coote. The pole sitter, the run up the hill will be important for him. Don't expect me to be able to say all the names here at Le Mans. I can say probably half of each of the names. But as they head up towards Kerber Dunlop at the start of this lap, it's going to be crazy. This first breakings, I remember, cold tyres and some drivers very, very eager to prove themselves in the last round and hopefully get some good points to the championship. The minor championship will still be up for grabs. So don't forget to, as well, at the end of the broadcast tonight, we will be drawing that VRS competition $99 US package that one lucky viewer will win. So we've got the spinning wheel of death already. There it is, just you can see it there, the spinning wheel all lined up with all the names on it, ready to go for the end of the broadcast tonight. So make sure you stick around for that, and we'll have a big catch up with Rue and everyone at the end as well. All right, here we go. Let's get set to go racing. The final round of F3A Silver. There's the green light. Slow start of the second row for Ben Arthur. He didn't get away well at all. Everyone else so down. Oh, we got a spinner in the very, very back. Lucas Bird, I think it is, having a shocker as he gets underway. But Aiden Coote does a great job and leads us up towards this run under the Dunlop Bridge, the Scale Electrics Dunlop Bridge that we all had as kids. And Ben Arthur recovering there with Doyle, Hawkins, Arthur, then Johnson up 2 spots into 8th. We got a spinner. Oh, we expected a little bit of a spin maybe at the start. Who's that? I think Ben Arthur's gone around. He's facing the wrong way. Unfortunately for him, that's a really, really bad start. Aiden Coote up in front though will head us now down onto some of the fast action. Watch the way they carry through the corners. He's run very wide through there, all 4 wheels off the track. Pocock kept it within the lines. I think Hawkins and Johnson also went very wide. Now let's jump on board here with Timothy Schmellenberg as he tucks in behind Johnson and Griffiths. He's got John Monday getting a great run. I think, in fact, Schmellenberg's going quite slow there. Monday and Hayes have just breezed past him in a straight line. There's Andrew Johnson chasing down Griffiths, and Hawkins just in front. Kalen Arthur leading this little crew of cars. You can see the gap to Russell, Coote and Pocock is quite big at the front. They're already through the first of these chicanes. In the background, Hawkins just coming in now. Oh, we got another spinner. Big dust up, 3 or 4 cars involved in this one. And oh dearie me, it's John Monday. Oh, he backs out onto the racetrack, and the other one's, I think, Ben Johansson, and that car is bent. And he gets it running again. Now the front wing missing for Monday's car. So that's not good at all. We'll try and get you a quick replay on some of these incidents. And look at that. We've got limping cars, and it's a long way to limp around this circuit. Meanwhile, out in front, Shane Russell for DFR Team Purple, leading Aiden Coote. The gap at the moment, just on 0.3 of a second. The draft is Will, says Will Wilson. It sure is. Apparently I'm pronouncing Aiden wrong, is that right? Aiden? Is this a G up? I swear it's Aiden. Race control being called by many drivers right now to have a look. Aiden, is that how you pronounce it? Aiden Coote? No one's ever told me that if that's correct, unless you G me up here. But anyway, Russell's leading the race. We can see Pocock sitting in third, Hawkins guest. We've got someone off the track, Kaylin Arthur. Oh dearie me, oh wow, that's a huge one for Arthur. He's in big trouble, and there's another car there as well. Andrew Johnson, they've been both given permission to tow, but Kaylin Arthur has had a huge crash down there, and Lucas Bird as well. Let's see if we can have a quick look at Arthur's, because that was massive. Here it is, the replay. Oh, there was a tangle there. Oh, wow, big crash. That's why Kaylin Arthur's ended up against the Armco. And huge damage. Let's have another look. And maybe this will be spectacular from the onboard. Oh, there it was. Couldn't avoid the incident. Huge incident up into the barrier. Nearly took out our marshal there as well. One more look from visor cam. Here it is. This will show the tail. On board with visor cam. Oh my goodness, no way to look away, and into the fence, upside down. Out, chihuahua. Thanks very much for coming. That's the end of his race, sadly. Oh, gee whiz, let's go back to the lead. It is Shane Russell, and how's he going? He's about to come through, I think, and finish the first lap of this race. Can you believe we haven't even finished the first lap yet? As they fly down through this last sector. So Russell leads. Coote second, then Pocock. The gap 2 seconds down between the top three. And there is the gap as they go through the final chicane now onto the pit straight. The gap back to Pocock, like I said, is extended now to just over 2.4 seconds. This battle for the lead is great, isn't it? This is two of our very fastest racers, Russell and Coote, who have been battling throughout this season, this championship, 14 rounds. Over what's been about, I think, 16 or 17 weeks. This championship has spread with a couple of weeks off for Easter and COVID, I think, as well. We had a week off, didn't we, when I had COVID? So, but it's been fantastic. These guys have put on a show. Like I said, big thanks to our main game sponsor, RaceKraft Simulations. And how cool is that rig? If you missed it at the start of the broadcast, make sure you go check it out. Oh, look how Russell there, the back end of that car, not completely attached to the racetrack. Let's go back to this battle between Andrew Hayes, AHR Media, Bradley Hudson behind him. We've got a drive-through penalty for Andrew Johnson, incident lap 1. Drew Coaster there, the maestro of this series, doing the honours there as race control to give out that penalty message. And you'll need to serve that. Is hugely costly around this racetrack. Good tow here for Bradley Hudson, right up underneath the rear wing, if you want to call it that, of Andrew Hayes. Gets alongside now, and that should be job done. Into the braking zone, it is. So Hudson moves himself up into 6th place now, and ahead of Hayes. Schmallenberg just in behind. Now watch Hayes come back at him though. That's the beauty of this sort of racing, that we're going to get plenty of this tonight. The driver no sooner has got past one, and they get overtaken straight away. Incredible, good job, and good exit of the corner there for Hayes to get himself back into that lead position for P6. Dylan Guest is just ahead of this pack. You can see him there with the number 1 on the car. Dylan Guest is up 16 positions into the top 5 tonight. Great start for him, and the gap at this stage to the leaders, 6.9 seconds. We're just on 5 and a bit minutes in, and we're about 1.5 laps into the race. Oh, can you believe it? Drive-through penalty for Robert Griffiths, causing an innocent on lap 1 as well. So there you go, another one's been handed out, and he too will have to come through the pit lane.
Roger that.
And not take any fuel or tyres, just serve that penalty, which is very costly. This is Hudson looking again to the inside, just pokes the nose down there. This has brought Schmallenberg back into this too. Let's jump on board with Timothy Schmallenberg as he gets a good exit. He's just behind Hudson and Hayes. Tucked back in behind this big long back straightaway. watch this toe take effect. Can he get them both here? Oh, he thought about going up the middle, then he backs right out of the throttle and stays in that position for now anyhow. And how exciting is this tonight? These F3 cars are one of the fastest motor racing tracks in the world. 13 kilometres around a lap. I don't even know how they remember a lap around here, or when to slow down, when to stop, when to turn. Carrying so much speed. Oh, big dive down the inside on visor cam. Great job. Good overtake, bit of oversteer, and he got the job done. He's pretty happy with that, and he got through well on Hayes. He dropped him by about 3 or 4 car lengths with that overtake, so good job. I tell a lie, that was another car in the mirrors there. Hayes gets back alongside. That was Ramisi in the mirrors, who's currently sitting in P9. Christian after starting back outside the top 10, so nice job. Philip Vella asks, is Yeaman running in gold tonight? I hope he is. I think he must be. I'm not sure. Well, there's a whisper about it. Let's hope he is. Righto. Hayes sitting back. We've got a spinner. It's Lucas Burt, and that is broken. Lucas Burt in big trouble now as well. And did he just tow to the pits? He did. Now, I didn't hear a permission to tow there, which might mean he gets the old heave-ho out of the race from race control. They do have to ask permission to tow. That's part of the rule book here at Le Mans, and part of the rule book here at F3A, of course, as well. Right, new fastest lap of the race. Aiden Coot, Mr. Aiden Coot. In front of me, keep saying Aiden until someone tells me it was a G-up. Is it an absolute G-up, says Philip Bell? I'm not sure. I think it's Aiden Coot. Come on, they would have told me otherwise. You're all G me up. How good is this? So Aiden out in front. A 3-minute 51-second lap there in full race trim, and he's just starting to eke out a little bit of a gap as well. Hey, we might take a moment in a second, if we can, sneak across and talk to the RaceKraft boys, because I know they're usually standing by, having a listen and watching on, taking some tips prior to what happens, of course, in the main game race tonight. So we might see if we can just butt in here and talk to Chris Mitchell. We'll jump straight in and say, hello, Chris, can you hear me loud and clear?
Just as I'm snoring my head off, so hopefully that didn't get your broadcast.
No, I did. I had the volume right down until that very moment then. Mate, how you going tonight? We're just watching, of course. We're 9 minutes into the silver race. You guys are doing your prep for the gold. I hope I'm not interrupting qualifying or anything, am I?
No, we're just monging around in practice for the incredibly long outlap that is Le Mans.
Monging around, that's a term I haven't heard for ages.
Yeah, I still live in a pretty low socioeconomic area, so it comes with the territory.
Mate, how's it feeling tonight? Thanks for the input, thanks for the stats as always. You've been an absolute legend throughout this 14-round series, giving me plenty of background information. But what's the tip on tonight? You said 100% throttle all the time. Is that really true?
Look, I would say it's. I didn't want to do the math, because to do the math, like I have to scrub through my whole VRS telemetry data, and there's very minimal points of being off throttle. So I reckon it's close to 90% of the lap here. I know in Le Mans 24 Hour and the Le Mans Prototype, like LMP1 class, it's like 85% of the lap.
Yep.
Full throttle, and I think it's even more in F3 because it's an F3 car.
And the cars, how do they perform with such a small little rear wing?
They're pretty loosey-goosey, like it may as well not even be there. It's pretty wild, and the proof is in the pudding that it's really separated the drivers by even greater margins, because we've had all these really fast guys show up for the final round, and they're just leaving us with our pants down at the moment.
Well, it's going to be great to watch later on when you guys get out there to do your thing. Who else we got tonight with race cams? We got Mr. Lutzu hanging out. There he is. And how are you feeling tonight, Gianni, man? How are you feeling towards this final round, because you are in for the championship here as well, aren't you?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think we've actually secured third in the championship, so that's always a good little pressure to take off myself tonight. But yeah, obviously we got the team going for the team's championship tonight, so yeah, the main focus is to sort of finish ahead of the main rivals tonight. But yeah, no, I've actually got a new sim here, as you could probably see, thanks to Johnny and all the guys at RaceKraft. They hooked me up with a new rig and new screens and all that stuff. So yeah, no, hopefully it should give you a few teds.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, good luck for tonight as we just see Andrew Hayes have a bit of a spin. We've also got with our race camps tonight, Kieran, how you doing, mate?
Absolutely excellent.
Absolutely excellent.
I've been dropped off the team.
You've been dropped, have you? Is that true?
That is true, yeah. They've sacked me and replaced me back with Aaron Gray, the one I was filling in for.
Oh.
No, I'm more than happy to finish the round off with these boys. Yeah.
It's been a good experience, no doubt, and I think we're going to be hopefully doing this again later in the year, and it'll be a chance to jump into these cars. But we do have Aaron Gray here. Aaron, welcome back, mate. You looking forward to this one tonight?
Yeah, no, it's good to be back. Slight bit of pressure for the team championship, but John Lee got in our ear this morning, and it's given us a bit of confidence. So we'll see how we go.
Bit of cash in the mail as well.
Well, that's to come, isn't it, John?
Very good. It's been such a pleasure having you guys, obviously giving us full experience and full access to the team. So I appreciate it over the course of this round, and no doubt if we get a safety car tonight, which I'm sort of hoping we don't, but I'll come and bug you guys a little bit in the gold round.
Oh, mate.
Cheers, mate.
No worries.
Awesome. All right, and just final words, of course, from Chris. Like, mate, you've also not just been helping me out throughout the series, but you've been a sponsor too with your own broadcasting title, which has been fantastic. So thank you for that. It's been good putting your name to a couple of rounds.
Yeah, cheers, mate. It's been fun. I really just wanted to chuck a bit of money in and support the series, and I thought it was pretty cool to see 80 cars roll out for a race night, and every single one of the poor bastards has to run my sticker and my name on their cars. So it's been fun to support Formula Racing Group and all the team here, and just chip into a really cool series. I really believe in this series. It's run by good people, and I'm happy to be part of it. And hey, if in about an hour's time, I'll be happier if we can walk away as teams champions.
Looking forward to it. Make sure you hang around, and we're going to talk obviously to the top three at the end of goal, but I'm inviting all of you guys to come into the main room, turn your webcams on and have a chat with us, because we'll make it a bit of a party, and the more the better, I think, at the end of the night.
A few beers involved, hopefully, as well.
I'll make sure I've got a beer on standby.
Excellent. All right, boys, take care.
Thanks, Luke.
Cheers. Righto, that's our RaceKraft boys giving us full access, and let's get back to the race now and have a little bit of a chat about where things are at. We saw a couple of slides and spins whilst we're live in the RaceKraft room. Aiden Coote still leads the race, 2.5 seconds clear of Shane Russell. Then you got Scott Pocock. You can just see him in the background holding on. He's dropping off the toe a little bit there. Brenton Hawkins has held on to fourth, and Dylan Guest up 16 spots. Finds himself 8.1 seconds off the lead. Now, we haven't seen a pit stop yet for the top 11 drivers in the race. We have seen pit stops below that though, from Doyle down. Philip Vella saying that setup looks loose. It does. It's going to be incredibly hard. Once you get remember we've got 40 drivers. There's only, what have we got, 19 still out there racing in silver. We're going to have 40 drivers for this final round in gold, and it is going to be mega that first couple of corners especially. So no Daniel Yeaman tonight, sadly, and Jacob Neasley's come across to YouTube. Good to see. Let's hammer down, eyes forward, Coote. It's doing well. Good battle for 7th. Tim Smooth operator as well. Now let's go and have a look at that now. Timothy Schmellenberg is now leading Christian Ramisi in 8th place. The gap between them is about 1 second, and then it's about 1 second forward to Hudson as Guest gets past Hawkins. Hawkins ran a bit wide through there, and Dylan Guest gets through now up into P4. So that's a 17 spot gain throughout the race tonight. Incredible job. He's been moving along very, very nicely, as we see a comment come through there from Johnny Lee saying, let's go Team RaceKraft. John, hello mate, and welcome to the broadcast. Big thanks on behalf of everyone for your sponsorship of this incredible series throughout this the World Series it was called. We've travelled all around the world, so massive thanks. It was because of RaceKraft Simulations that we've done this, and John's been a very generous man, and of course across other categories as well. And every time I see Jeff Thomas with that RaceKraft rig over in the VFS, I think of how generous he is. So big thanks RaceKraft for putting some money behind this series, and it's been incredible as we watch Aiden Coote cross the line for Drop Bear Motorsport. Don't forget these guys, Drop Bear, it used to be a red car, it's now a blue car. The reason behind that, they're raising money for Beyond Blue, and a great cause. This Sunday is the final round of the ASCC Championship. I'm going to actually donate some of the RaceStars money across to the Star money across to what is such a good cause. So stay tuned for that. But Aiden Coote driving well tonight, out in front, lap 5 of this race. He starts lap 5, he's completed 4, and we're just on 16 minutes in. That gap now 3.2 seconds, starting just to increase slightly, isn't it? So Timothy Schmellenberg at pits. So he's the first driver that's come in and said, right, I'm going to take fuel now. All the drivers will need to take fuel. The 88 comes in and will drop down the order slightly, but he is the top driver that has stopped. So where Sean Doyle is. He's coming through the final chicane now. So Doyle may jump ahead of him, and we'll have a look at the pit strategies maybe in about 10 minutes time, I think we'll see probably most drivers come through in the next lap or two to take their one pit stop. It's not compulsory, but you won't get home without taking fuel tonight. Jokin's in the house as well. Hello, Jokin. Hope you're doing well, mate. Not working too hard. Back with your race leader. Not a lot of battles, and we just sort of expected this in the silver. I think gold will be a little bit different, but in silver we expected them to spread out a little bit. This is still Guest and Hawkins all out of shape. He caught it in the end, kept it off the fence, but he lost a lot of momentum there. He'll drop back, and look at that time, that interval is now 2.4. It was about 2 seconds a couple of 100 meters ago, but because of the speed that Dylan Guest took out of the corner compared to Hawkins, that will just increase all the way down this long straightaway. Let's jump on board. Christopher Mitchell with the 500 stars. Thanks, my friend. Like I said, from the bottom of our heart here, thanks for all your input. A lot of people don't notice, but Chris sends me a big, long message before each race. Has all the details, all the stats for the track. Saves me hours of research, so big thanks to Chris. And CM2, of course, Christopher Mitchell. If you haven't checked out his work, make sure you go and do so. Absolute legend. Right, Aiden Coote, like I said, 3.2 seconds in the lead. The pit strategy as it stands, and this won't update for a couple of the drivers down the bottom of that top 10, Schmallenberg being one of them. He has come out in 11th ahead of Doyle. He has stopped for fuel. That will update on the next lap. Obviously, he completed 4 laps on that first stint. So we'll keep an eye on that little bit of strategy. I wonder how many of the gold drivers actually sit back and watch this for different tips. Obviously the race conditions out there tonight, there it is, it's 50 degrees track temp, so 32 ambient, 50 degrees. It's about 3 o'clock local time here in the afternoon, but that is smoking hot out there tonight. Let's jump on board with Scott Pocock, and how leery is this little leopard skin cushion he's got around his head here in the F3 car, the Red Rocket Racing 444. Joker's not working tonight, that's good to hear, my friend. Night off is what we all deserve and need every now and then. Let's go back with Darren Lesueur. He's fighting here with Timothy Schmallenberg. Now, Schmallenberg has stopped, Darren Lesueur hasn't stopped, so there's not a lot in this battle other than a bit of pride. Schmallenberg will want to stay in front. He'll be fighting with Good Eve, who's 11 seconds up the road. When he comes into the pits, he's probably more targeting back around that Bradley Hudson, Christian Ramisi P6 is where Schmallenberg will want to end up after the pit stops. You can see that once again wagging the tail. The back end of that car loose as a goose tonight. Kieran Ellis with some stars, 530 stars. Let's put that comment up on the screen too, and I'll read it out to all the folks here. Kieran says, here's a thank you for all the work this season. Been an absolute pleasure having you joining us in our race chat and bringing so much atmosphere to these events, mate. It's been awesome to see you race. Up there in the silver and then the gold as well, elevated to gold, and looking forward to seeing more of you in the future, mate. Thank you so much. Tanked SRT says, good luck team, you can do it for 3rd in the team's championship. That's Tanked SRT also chiming in with a comment. So yep, there's points on the line right down to the wire tonight, and of course at the end of the broadcast we'll have a big hangout party and we'll get Roo to come in and chat and let us know all about where the series is going to end up. Hawkins and Guest in the lane now to take fuel and tyres. There goes Dylan Guest. He's on an absolute roll tonight. Comes out of the lane now, P7, ahead of Hawkins, who's still in the lane. Good Eve is just coming down the pit straight now, isn't he? So there's the Century Batteries car. Sorry, that's Hawkins. Where's Good Eve? He's gone through. Gary Good Eve's just going up through turn 1 now, isn't he? So he came through behind Guest, but in front of Hawkins and Schmallenberg as Lesueur, Doyle, Monday. They're all pitting now. Lucas Burt, unfortunately, out of the race after that huge crash at the start. I'm not sure he played that one. I think that may have been what caused Kalen Arthur's crash. So if you've missed it, let's just go back and have a quick look at this one. We'll slow it down as well. So this was early on in the race. So Lucas Burt, does he drop it first here? I'm not sure where it goes wrong. Yeah, so he was trying to avoid the other car, and that's where it all started. So that was Andrew Johnson, and then look at that secondary impact. Bits flying off the car. The marshals have just gone, oh my gosh, what has happened? Should we do anything, or should we just chill? We'll just chill. But massive crash. The damage was huge, but that all stemmed from, I think, Andrew Johnson going slowly. Look in the background there, that wreck up against the fence. That is a sight to see. Andrew Johnson copped a penalty for that, obviously serving a slowdown and not letting the drivers know we're not keeping out of harm's way. Sadly for him, cost him dearly. Right, let's go back. As Chris says, Andrew was clearing a slowdown, but unfortunately, not sure what the rules and regulations are with that, as we see Shane Russell in the background go for a bit of a slip and slide. 6 seconds off the lead, but I think you have to call out that you're slowing down, or you've got to at least stay out of harm's way. In the middle of the racetrack, caught a few other drivers napping there, Cameron Arthur, and one of them, his race ruined into the fence. So Shane Russell P2, there's Pocock in behind, then it's a huge gap back to Hudson, 12 seconds back to Bradley Hudson in 4th place. The top 6 yet to stop. There's Andrew Lachlan for RaceKraft Simulations, currently running in 6th place. He's got Dylan Guess, who has stopped on lap 5, chasing him down very quickly too. The number 15, looking good. How good do these RaceKraft cars look? In the sun here at Le Mans. Jacob Beasley, I'm getting some practice in for the Forza 12 hour on Xbox, starts at 9:30 tonight. Good luck for that, man. There's a lot to be said for Forza and games like that. I actually love them. I think, you know, you get very caught up in this full-on sim racing world of iRacing and R-Factor 2 and that, but and I'm not saying Forza is, you know, it's any less of a sim, but we all know and love iRacing, but I love Forza. I love, back in the day, Gran Turismo as well. I think I'll always have a soft spot for those sorts of racing games. We've had different broadcasts over the last couple of years where we've talked about Vet and many other obscure games, Grand Prix Legends, which obviously iRacing has some DNA from Grand Prix Legends, I think, still in there somewhere, as Russell and Pocock both come into the pits now. So this is interesting. We've got Pocock in the lane behind Russell, and Aiden Coote stays out. So, hey Aiden. Is that like, they say Ayrton that way, don't they? Some people for Ayrton Centre, that was always Ayrton. And there you go. So Neasley says we're heading to Spa. That will be fun. That'll be good. 12 hours of Spa overnight. Obviously you don't have to work tomorrow. You can chill out and enjoy that one. That's fantastic. Right, so plenty of drivers in the pits now. Coote in there is out. Sorry, Coote stayed out. Dylan Guest flying down the pit straight now. Where is he going to end up? Because remember, he started back of the grid. He's coming through, and there's, I think, Pocock just exiting the pit lane in front of him. And he's got a great run of speed. His tyres will be up to temp as well. So just watch the next sequence of corners on board with Dylan Guest. The back end is all over the place though. But Pocock in front will just be trying to bring these tyres up to temp, get a bit of confidence in the car, and then obviously push on. But Russell hangs on to 2nd for now. Pocock 3rd. Guest into 4th. Your race leader yet to stop. Incredible. At the back of Pocock, here he comes. So the number 1, daunting. He's got himself tucked into the toe. Now he runs alongside. He pulls out of the toe. He swings from side to side back to the right-hand side of the track now. And he'll get alongside. See you later, he says. Number 1, Dylan Guest goes up into P3. 18 spots he's made up tonight so far. And a great job. We've got an overlap on the overlay there. Sorry about that. It's been bugging me. I'll try and fix that. And as we see Dylan Guest beautifully go through up in the 3rd. Will Wilson says, half expecting the guy with the leopard spots to have a large feather on his helmet. Yeah. Shane Russell just ahead of us here. DFR, again looking for a good result. Shane's been quick, hasn't he? 39.3 seconds behind Aiden, who has not stopped. I expect Aiden to probably retain the lead. The transit time through the pit lane, 41 seconds or so. Remember that you obviously are still covering distance of the racetrack whilst you're in the pit lane, so generally works out to around 32 or 33, maybe 34 seconds of time lost out on the actual racing line. So Pocock's having a bit of a look here, isn't he? Back in P3. Here he goes. I've got to say too, big thanks to everyone that's been part of the chat throughout this series, coming back each week to view and get involved. I actually love looking over and seeing you guys having conversations and talking about the different drivers, different teams coming in as well and talking about the teams. It is fantastic. It's a great atmosphere here. Hey, Steve Cassitas, he remembers Vet. How cool was it? Have you had a look like recently though? I said this last time I talked about Vet. I had it on a Mac when I was a kid. And you go back and look at it on YouTube now, it's shocking. what we loved as racing games back then. I'll tell you a little story. I actually made myself a racing game when I was a kid. I can't remember what it was called. Was it just Flash or one of those? It was a Mac program. I think it was called Flash, but it was basically just frame by frame animations you could make. And I used to just make a racetrack and have the car go around it as Aiden Coote now stops from the lead. But isn't it funny how much we would, or how satisfied we were with graphics back then compared to if we had that sort of thing now, we'd be thinking, oh, that's disgusting, you know. We're so spoiled with iRacing, and look at this beautiful footage. The onboard, how realistic it has become. We are very, very spoiled. Do not take it for granted. This is great racing. Pocock behind Guest, staying with him. Aiden Coote, let's see where he comes out of the lane after this pit stop, because they may be closer than we expect. 5.1 seconds was what Shane Russell took on board for fuel. Here's your race leader, 66, now in behind the Porsche safety car, this iRacing safety car, not our FRG safety car. The car gets fixed, damaged, repaired, and he's actually going to come out of fairway in front. So Russell just coming through the chicane now onto the pit straight. And as the time resets, we'll see what it is. I think it's going to be less than 26 seconds. That'll come down quite quickly now. There it is, so jumps down to around 10. It's going to stabilise around that 8 second probably. 8.7 is the gap. Coote back to Russell. So there you go, 8.6. The advantage to this man who is leading the race and looking like it's going to be a bit of a walk in the park to the end now. Be interesting to also note, it is a time certain race, 35 minutes. Will we have to do that extra lap tonight? So about 3 minutes 51 is a flying lap for these drivers. It'll go close, won't it? They may pull the checker out just prior to the 35-minute mark. We'll see what iRacing does. I'll have to keep on my toes with that one. Steve says, who needs frame rate or pixels? Who needs it? Yeah, we were just satisfied to have anything back then. Remember the Commodore 64 games, and you'd get halfway through and have to rewind the tape. Yeah, Will says, imagine games 10 years from now, the head spins. I agree, it's with VR and, you know, will there be a time where VR means you've actually got to walk in from the start, you know, be greeted by the team, get briefed, and jump into the car and actually have virtual pit crews where they've actually got to work on your car when you come into the pit stop. There's so many things they could develop with VR down the track. We're already there, obviously, for the driving side of things, but I think to get the full experience, you want to be able to actually walk into the garage, climb into the car, bolt yourself in and go from there. I think that is surely where it's going to head next down the track, and many other things as well. But Sean Doyle, back there in...
there is now a blanket 2 approval. You're on in, blanket 2, you're on in.
It's a race control saying a blanket tow. That means that if you crash from now, you're allowed to just tow yourself back to the lane. So we're not going to see the safety car, is the other way to read into that. We're not going to see the safety car at all here in this silver race tonight, which I think is a good thing. It's going to run to the flag here with about 4.5 minutes to go. Chris Swadling says, animated pit crews with the IR18 Indy car as a spin out. Yeah, I've seen that in some of the Indy cars as well. It looks so cool when the when the pit crew run across and start working on the car. I can't wait for them to have more of that. But definitely, it's something that we're going to see great things in the future. Joining me in the comm box as we head into the last 4 and a bit minutes of this race is Mr. Rook Koister. How you going, buddy?
Hey man, what's happening? Doing pretty well. Happy with the way the race is going at the moment. Yeah, we decided to jump in and see what's going on.
Yeah, final round of this 14-round series. It's been mega, and I've been I don't know if you've been listening to me, but I've been chatting about our sponsors, how cool it's been, and of course RaceKraft giving us full access to their driver room throughout the season as well. It's been cool. But man, tonight's a big night, and we're going to have a party at the end and spin the wheel and get a winner and all that sort of stuff as well.
Absolutely, there's a big wheel going on too. There's a lot of entries for the VRS competition, so we're happy to see that.
Yeah.
I messaged Julian today saying it's all going down, so he's pretty happy as well. So that's pretty cool. I see we got a hot track. Did you see we got a hot track tonight?
I read out the temperatures are 50, or it's come down to 49 degrees now, but it was 52 earlier on at the start of this race.
I'm so happy that the silver division has kept it reasonably clean, considering that it's quite a hot and slidey track out there. So that's really cool to see.
This will be the last lap of the race because we're almost 32 minutes in, and Aiden's just crossed the line now for 1 to go. So he's looking like he's going to have a runaway victory here in silver. And now, Roo, you'll have to just sort of keep me in touch with where the team's championships are tonight as well, because I've been seeing a bit of chat about teams really coming down to the wire for that championship.
Absolutely. I think we've come down to, there's 2 teams that literally, it may as well have no points in it whatsoever. I'll get into the results because I can't remember what the actual difference is. I think it's something like 10 or 20 points. But it'll come down. There's been a bit of switcheroo with a few of the drivers. I think they're playing a strategic game here. But we've got RaceKraft Simulations Pink on 3344 and the DFR Team Blue on 3331. So there is nothing in it at all. I know John's watching from Vietnam at the moment, and I know he wants. I know the result that he wants, and I'm pretty sure if he gets a win, he'll want to put the sponsorship in again for next season because he wants to do that back to back. I know he's got the hunger for it, so he'll be watching with a bit of eagerness.
Awesome, man. This little skinny rear wing tonight is cool. These cars topping out. I had a friend earlier who has actually raced F3 cars in the real world overseas, Spike, who commented, he said these things will conk out if they had, what he said, these F3s would run out of steam on those long straights. He's actually got an F3 in the garage, so he knows what he's talking about. But it's great that we can simulate this coming to Le Mans for the final round. It is cool.
Yeah, I reckon we'll get probably another 5-10 k's an hour on top for the Gold Series, because I think about 7 or 8 p.m, so it should have cooled down. And by the way, we are going to have the sun up when we finish.
Are you sure?
I have tested this. I have tested it. We're not going to get that Tron thing going on, and we are going to have the sun up. It's going to be that golden hour. It's going to be perfect. I've spent a little time making sure it's going to look awesome. So, but we will see it. We will see it. I think we're going to get around about 280. I reckon 285, somewhere around there. So it's pretty fast for these little things.
Yeah, it's awesome. As we come into the last, I guess, third of the lap now, Aiden Coote leading this one by 7, just nearly 8 seconds over Russell. And Dylan Guest. Now, do you know much about Dylan? Because he's up 18 spots tonight. That's been a mega run.
Yeah, and he's been have you got any of his overtakes, John, on the thing?
I have a couple. Yeah.
He's just putting his car in a spot that just says, I'm here, and what are you going to do about it? He's just coming through. He's a freight train, so he probably could have done really well in gold as well, to be honest.
Yeah, he's flying. So final lap of the race. We've got, what are we now? About a quarter of the lap to go as they head down through the final section. But Aiden Coote for Drop Bear Motorsport, this is a good way to finish his season out, and another driver that probably could sneak into gold.
Yeah, he's walking the park for him, I think. Super styling the Porsche curves here, the last few corners. He'll be pretty happy, though. I mean, he's been up and down this season. He's had a couple of bad rough trots, but at the same time, he's been a tough competitor, and he's always out there, and he's always given 100%. So it's good to see him get a win. Yeah,
he's coming through just down towards the final couple of corners now. I tell you what, he's not easing up. I'm loving this. The back end of the car is wagging around, which is obviously not a lot of downforce, but it's been great to watch it tonight. And
absolutely.
Here he goes.
8 seconds lead, and he's not letting up at all. He's going like he stole it.
Yep, here he comes through the final chicane to take a win for the final round of the F3A Silver, and he gets across the line 8.2 seconds ahead of everyone else. Shane Russell's going to come through for second. Great drive for the DFR competitor to take P2 tonight. Dylan Guest from the back of the grid comes through and secures third, up 18 spots. So great drive from all three there. That is huge. And the top three, Coote, Russell and Guest, we're going to speak to them shortly. But yeah, mega race. Looking forward to gold. I'm going to, because it's a bit of a big track to load, I'll probably go across there earlier and load up that server. But we're going to enjoy some burnouts first of all, and then go talk to the drivers. Are you going to stick around for that, or you got some things to do?
I better get everything ready for the next one, so I'll see you after the gold race.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Roo.
Cheers, bro.
Right, they're ripping the throttle here, these drivers, doing some good burnouts. P4, Scott Pocock got the job done. Well done, Scotty. and then you had Brenton Hawkins, Mr. Hudson came home,
Requesting permission to exit as
and Schmallenberg P7, Ramisi P8.
Oh, I reckon.
Lachlan got 9th, and Andrew Hayes 10th.
Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations on the podium. Get those burnouts done now. And,
that's Rui Koistra. The man you can hear right now, he's
ruin the tyres.
he likes encouraging the burnouts, of course. And we love it here too at RaceStars TV. Any good skid is a good skid. I'm going to get some music on, I'm going to get set and head across now and hopefully talk to some drivers. Be back with you shortly. That's your race winner tonight. Ripping a skid. We can talk to him while he's doing it. Aiden, great drive tonight, mate, and having a bit of fun out there too. Well done winning the final round of this series.
Thanks, Luke. It was a bit of a shame to miss out on gold there, but I didn't get a chance to do a full quali session. So coming in silver, having a play, it was nice to run up the front for a change.
Mate, it looked good out there for you. You obviously had, you had Shane Russell. Dylan Guest was coming through the field behind as well. He was super quick. So did you sort of look in your mirrors, see those relatives, and ever worry about those guys?
Yeah, I was keeping an eye on the gap pretty closely there. The plan from the start was to try and run a lap in a slipstream there and get an extra lap of fuel on them if I could, which I did. But ultimately, I wanted to try and get the jump and break the toe, and best spot to do that was down at just after Mulsanne there into Indianapolis, because those Porsche curves I felt strong and it was a good chance to break away, and from there it was just mostly managing and making sure nobody was pulling a fast one.
Mega drive, man. Well done for the win tonight. Shane P2, good drive as well, man, but the back end of the car just keeping it in check tonight, I guess, was the toughest thing for all the competitors tonight. The back end wagging around everywhere.
Yeah, that track was hectic, man. Very hot, very slippery, but I had a bit of rearward brake bias as well. I kind of like it like that. But yeah, no, it was a little bit boring, but still fun. I mean, driving cars around here is pretty cool. I didn't even know the track until a few days ago, so yeah, man, it's cool.
Yeah, flat chat. And Dylan, what a drive, man. Up 18 positions from the back of the grid. You showed some great pace tonight. Well done.
Yeah, cheers, Luke. It was an awesome race. Stuffed up my qualifying lap, so there was a bit of a job to do, but made a good race.
Well, great job. We'll do some thank yous for the top three. We've got to quickly load up the gold server, of course, but feel free to come back at the end of the night tonight and hang out for the big party at the end. But Aiden, for the win tonight, who would you like to thank, mate? And I think they're G'ing me up. You don't pronounce your name A. Aiden, do you?
No, it's not A. Aiden. I'm not an A. Aaron. It's just Aiden. But
G me up.
Luke and Rue and all the guys, thank you as always. But more importantly, get on the podium means it'll be dropping into the little kitty there for the drop bear push in Beyond Blue, hence the blue livery.
Yep.
So to those guys, Beyond Blue, for doing what they do, thank you.
Awesome, mate. And I did say I was going to pledge some money on, I think it's Sunday night for the ASCC Grand Finale. So hold me to that. We're going to chuck some money from RaceStars TV in the kitty for that, because it's a great cause that you guys have got behind. And of course, any mental health issues and support is worthwhile. So well done to the Drop Bear Motorsport team running that blue livery for Beyond Blue. Well done, Aiden.
And thank you, Luke.
Pleasure, man. And Shane, P2, who would you like to thank? DFR.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd like to thank Aiden and Dylan, congratulate them. You, Luke, Rue and the crew, and of course the DFR boys. I bloody love them to death.
Great drive, man. Good skid too. All of you guys put on a good skid at the end. Well done, Shane. And then P3 finally tonight, Dylan Guest. Who would you like to thank, mate?
I think Dylan's just done a runner on you, unfortunately.
He's done a runner. Oh, well. Dylan would like to thank all his sponsors, including the race winner, of course, tonight, Aiden Coote and Shane Russell. Well done, guys.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
All right, boys, cheers. All right, we're going to load up now for the gold session. So give me a moment. It takes me a minute or so to do that. Whilst we're doing that, we might run this fantastic RaceKraft promo. Here it is.
Introducing the RaceKraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed the Cage, an 8040 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a RaceKraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The RaceKraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.
Part 2 of the evening. It is F3A, the World Series, round 14, and we are at the gold round now. The best of the best getting set to do battle for the championship, and I'm going to run you through these championship points coming into the final round as well, because it is tight right up to the top, and this is how it looks prior to tonight's race. And Jaden Laddick sits on top, 1,802 points, leading Benjamin Roberts in the series for Mini Muscle Cars P2. Gianni Lutsu third in the championship, and I think has secured that third position ahead of Rob Crouch and Chris Mitchell, slotting into 5th place there as well for RaceKraft Simulations. Well done to Jay Dixon, Mazoka, Bowden, Holko and Hardy, who are inside the top 10. 10th place though, could come down to the wire. You can see Christian Lindbaum very close. Scotty Pocock will get some points for that run, and also Shane Russell will get some points as well for that great run in silver tonight. So there's your series points at the top as we just go through what is a minute and a bit to go in the warm-up session tonight. We'll take you down shortly. The paint's just loading in onto the cars as well, It's big thanks to Trading Paints. All those liveries will just load in automatically with the latest paint job the drivers have stuck on their cars, which is fantastic. There is Kieran Ellis out there. And with a minute to go, I'm going to quickly dive in. Actually, no, I'm going to leave them alone. It's a big final race for the RaceKraft boys, so I'm not going to go and disturb them just yet. But we'll get set shortly to go down to the grid. I can tell you this is how they've qualified. At the top, this is how they will start the race tonight. The front row, it's Jaden Laddick. John Lemercier has gone P2 with Cody Deeth and Damon Woods up there as well. Benjamin Roberts second in the championship, starts from P8 on the grid tonight. We've got some fast competitors who have jumped in tonight to have a crack. Cody Deeth there out of P3 for Logitech G. He will be quick as well. And that's how they'll start shortly. I'm going to get rid of this music because we're going to get ready for putting on the RaceStars theme song shortly and taking it to our final race for what has been a remarkable season here. F3A. We're here at Le Mans tonight, 13 and a bit kilometres around a lap, 50 minutes of racing. Who will stand on the podium at the end? Who will take the crown? Who will win the championship? We're going to know in about 50 minutes time. Let's go down to the grid. Pete, thanks for the stars, and let's get set to go racing. The grid for tonight's finale will look just like this. Series championship leader Jaden Laddick will start from pole position with a 3-minute 46.2 lap time. He'll start alongside John Lemercier there in P2. Cody Deeth and Damon Woods on the second row. Dylan Burse and Watson out of the third row with Lutzu, Roberts, Cho and Newton, your top 10. Kobe Williams will start from 11th on the grid with Rob Crouch, your top 12, 13th on the grid. As we head over the page, it will be Rewalt with Wazelle, Matthew down there in 15th with Vitani and down in 16th, Hides and Dutton, Millington and Edwards rounding out year 20, Holko, Bowden, Guest and Christopher Mitchell down in 24th place on the grid. Big field of cars, 25th, Jay Dixon with Malloy, Ryan Mabry, Mekas and Hardy, your top 30. Then it's Barker, Gray, Ellis and Barnes down there in 34th place. John Baldwin and Gavin Nins rounded out the top 36th, 37th on the grid. It is Lockie Taylor with Anthony Mazoka, Jack Maras down in 39th, Lockie Capel and Dave Roberts tonight in the safety cars, hopefully not needed for this race. We're about to get set to get into the race. Just waiting on the top competitors to load in. Dylan Burst is on the grid. Just waiting on Laddick, Lemercier, Deeth and Woods. So like I said, some very fast competitors. John Lemercier, I think this is his debut for this series tonight. We haven't seen him throughout the series, but will he take a win away from Jaden Laddick in the final round tonight? It's going to be an interesting run. Cold tyres, cars fueled up. Remember, they will need one pit stop tonight as well, sometime during the race. So keep an eye on the competitors. See if anyone tries to go in maybe for a different strategy, comes in a little bit early. Dylan says, my headset died during the interviews. That's no good, man. We love chatting to you, though. Well done tonight in the race as Jaden Laddick now sits on pole position. We get set for a start. So the drivers, well, there will be some nerves right now. And Cody Deeth just on the mic, I think just doing a final mic check. We'll hear the revs rise shortly. Wait for them to get away. And the final round of F3A, the World Series, is go. Green light and away we go. Good start from John on the right-hand side of the grid, but Jaden Laddick was just as good as they head down towards the first corner. Look at them coming around at the back as well. Such a big field of cars. Now down towards the big first braking zone where we're going to have cold tyres and maybe a little bit of action here. We've got a bit of smoke at the front. Laddick got through, Monsieur got through. A couple of cars have cut the chicane. We've got a spin in the background to be expected. Oh, big dust up. 4, 5, 6, 7 cars involved. They're trying to spin around to then recover. There's more drivers unfortunately getting involved in as they recover, and there's plenty of nose cones have been left behind in that big cloud of dust. Meanwhile at the front, Laddick, Monsieur out in front, Burst and Watson, your top 4. Will we get an opening safety car? Let's hope not. They're going to run on with this as Dylan Burst starts to put a little bit of pressure on John Lemercier as well. Trying to listen out for race control here if they're going to call it a safety car. They're requesting tows those broken drivers. Laddick just leads by a whisker, 0.3 of a second Into the braking zone they go. Roberts has made up 3 spots. Remember, second in the championship. This man we're on board with now, Benjamin Roberts. And he's flying. He's trying to catch up to Marcus Watson. He's the next up the road, PCD Racing. And let's have a quick look at the weather conditions as well. It is 26 degrees, so it is a little bit cooler. In fact, it's about half the temperature that we saw earlier on tonight. Roberts right up underneath the rear wing of Watson now. Doesn't look like he's wanting to overtake, though. He's out of the throttle, saving some fuel, and he's happy to stay in position. No safety car is the call from race control. So no safety car. We're continuing the race here, and Dylan Burst has got himself up into P2. He's got John Lemasura all over the back of him, trying to find a way through. So Dylan Burst made up 3 spots at the start, and here we go. He's actually challenging for the lead of the race, and he gets into the lead now. So Dylan Burst leads on the halfway point of this first opening lap. Laddick on the outside. Now Laddick, remember, this is a man that's in the championship. He won't want to get involved in any silly battles at the front. You can see Benjamin Roberts is in P5, and now Laddick's back to 3rd, so they're changing. Like I said, I think we're going to see a lot more of this in the top class tonight. A lot more of this wheel-to-wheel action, even though it's a long, long racetrack. These drivers are the best of the best. Oh, wow, teetering on the edge there. Laddick trying to find a way through, but the track is blocked in front. Burst is going to lead us into the braking zone, but down the inside, John Lemasura has a look. Dylan Burst back on the inside for the left-hander, though, and job done. He gets out of there just ahead of Jaden Laddick, who moves back up into 2nd place. Marcus Watson now closes the gap in P4 as well with Roberts. We've got a spinner. We've got a spinner down there as Dennis Cho's gone around and loses a heap of positions back to P9. We'll probably lose a couple of more. Marcus Watson on the race control channel there as well. As once again we see Laddick pull out of the tow, go down the inside and get the move done on Dylan Burst. How quick are these drivers competing tonight? How much speed with these little thin, paper-thin rear wings are they carrying through these corners? Laddick spins. Contact with the leaders, into the fence, the championship leader, into the barrier and out of this race. Surely Monsieur on the radio. They've got to be so careful here because competitors are coming through at a mega amount of speed. Laddick's going to have to try and drag that back to the pits. And, oh, wow-wee. Lemasura got through there, didn't he? It was the other car involved. We'll get a replay of that shortly, but that's a huge moment in the championship. This final battle. And Roberts got through there. I'm trying to see where Lutzu is. Lutzu's up into 4th. Roberts into 3rd now. And, oh, wow. Big moment. We'll try and have a quick look at the picture-in-picture replay. Oh, that was just the end of it. So that was the race leaders, but it all started with Laddick getting out of shape. The back end just going for the big old wobble. And from then on, passengers into the fence. Dylan Burst also, I think, trying to avoid that incident has gone back a mile too. So let's have a look at this now. Here's a replay. In fact, it was a Burst and Laddick that got together. Here it is. So we'll slow it down. So was there a bit of a rub on the fence there prior to the contact? We'll take that back. So I do apologise, but I think, yeah, so Laddick's, the back end of Laddick's car, you'll see from this angle, just steps out. Burst can't avoid it, makes contact. Lemasura then somehow avoids all of it by going to the right-hand side of the track. So it was Dylan Burst and Jaden Laddick into the fence in a big way. And sadly, that could have some championship implications. We'll wait and see. I think he's probably clear enough points to still hold on to the championship. He's limped it back to the pits, has he? Yes, he's in the lane now. But massive moment. Watson also now under pressure from Benjamin Roberts. So it just goes to show even the best of the best can lose the rear end in this one. It's so tough with little to no downforce at the back. Marcus Watson at the moment holds on to 2nd. Back further, there's a great battle between Jay Dixon. This battle here, Dixon, Malloy, Mara and Barker for 17th place, but Dixon in particular chasing after Mario Vatanian, and this is for 13th place. Dixon at the moment up 11 spots, Malloy's up 11, Mara's up 23 positions. Anthony Mazoka's just gone off the track, rejoins behind Rob Bowden for Tanked SRT. That's another, I guess, another team that's fighting for the team championship as well, Tanked SRT. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see if it says some ugly rejoins there. Yeah, that opening lap incident. Did see a lot of drivers just trying to scramble back onto the racing line and, well, probably cost a few of their mates a run in the race tonight, sadly. Roberts now challenging once again right up behind Marcus Watson. Doesn't want to go through. Now he's got to just play this safe, I think. He would love a win tonight, but John Lemercier went very wide off the exit of that corner. Roberts has to just, I guess, pick his battle here. Does he want to try and get through on Watson and risk an incident, or is he happy just to sit in third?
Lap 1 for curve, talent failure.
That was Dylan Burse asking race control to have a look at that lap 1 incident.
So car 68, can you please repeat that?
Let's have a listen.
Yeah, lap number 1, car 68, car number 1, talent failure. I repeat, talent failure.
He's called it a talent failure. I'm not sure that's really
acknowledged. Thank you.
Really something that you could acknowledge for someone who is the leader of the championship. Has been probably by far our best competitor out there. Jaden Laddick, the back end of the car, got up on the curb though and it let go in a big way. And unfortunately, it will be the end of his running tonight, or a chance to get out there and win the final race. As John puts it on the dirt, we'll lose a little bit of momentum now to Watson and Roberts. Wood in the background as well. Drive-through penalty for Chris Wazell, causing an incident on lap 1. I think that was probably one of the incidents down at the first corner, as Mara goes through with Dixon and Malloy in tow as well. So, interesting. As the number 7 now chases down the number 23 and out in front, these competitors. So we've got another drive-through penalty. Aaron Gray causing an incident on lap 1. So it's one of our RaceKraft drivers who we're going to check in with shortly. So we'll just have a quick flick over to their race channel now. And Aaron Gray won't be happy with that. He's currently 24th place. Let's see the reaction here. So he's just gone past the pit entry, has he? He has. So, oh no, yes he has. So I'm not sure he's been given this penalty yet. We'll wait and listen in for race control. But Aaron Gray was given a drive-through penalty there, sadly.
Nice to see your microphone, mate.
Yes, there's a bit of chatter out there tonight, isn't there, between the competitors? So they might have to mute Dylan Burse if he keeps it up. He loves to chat.
See the drive-through penalty for causing an incident on lap 1.
There it is. So just a little shake of the head when he receives that notification from race control, but he'll have to go through the pits. We've lost Christopher Mitchell, sadly, which is a real shame. I was seeing, is he out of the race? Where is he running? Is he up there somewhere? He's still running. He's up in 11th. We've just lost his race control. We've lost his camera, unfortunately. We've got Gianni in the brand new racing rig, though. He's currently P5, running third in the championship. Let's ride on board with him for a little bit as he chases down Damon Woods, who's just up the road. Pretty decent setup he's got there, I reckon, isn't it? Look at that direct drive wheel and the big screens, the RaceKraft rig as well. There's a good battle going on just up the road from these competitors. Thanks, Graham. Appreciate your support too, man, over this last 6 months. Watson, Marcus Watson there, also making some comments.
Race control, can I please ask the remind the boys about
So Baldwin.
Yep, thank you. Car 35. Can everyone please knock the broadcast on for
So just obviously
the chat to a minimum, and
being told there to give or keep the chat to a minimum, which is a good reminder. There's part of the rule book. We do have a lot of competitors in tonight for this final one that have qualified for gold, but may have not been here all season. So to keep with the fairness and obviously how great this series has been, hopefully they respect those rules in this final race. And John Lemercier, he's got a fraction of a lead now, which is about to dissipate, I think, as Damon Woods gets set to overtake. Let's jump on board with Woods. Oh boy, did he just give him a bump? That was definitely a bit of a bump there. And I've seen this once before. These competitors, they don't mind trying to bump draft these F3 cars, but you can lose a front wing so easily. You can unsettle the car in front as well. And dear me, That is high speed part of the track as well to be making nose to tail contact. John Lee says Gianni needs to lower his monitors. I'm sure, there it is. I'm sure John will help him sort that out and get him all ergonomically set up in the next coming weeks. It's great to see him in a fantastic racing rig though as we watch this battle through the final chicane, and Woods is looking very, very racy. Watch the exit now. Both cars slide the back end right across the curb. Watson in tow, then Lutsu now closing that margin down and getting himself within, what is it now, 9/10 of the race lead. So it's not over. He could also challenge tonight. Roberts has dropped back a little bit to 5th and currently 1.5 seconds back. We didn't see the mistake he made. Then you got Scott Newton with Dutton in tow. Ben Dutton sitting in 7th. Dennis Cho then running 8th, who had a spin earlier in the race. Then Cameron Edwards runs 9th with Ben Holko. Christopher Mitchell sideways, P11. He's made up 13 positions, so moving forward nicely here in the late evening at Le Mans for this final round of F3A, the World Series. 14 rounds. We've been right around the globe. I love the stats that Christopher gave us earlier in the race. We travelled 82,400 virtual kilometres between events, which has been a fantastic thing to do right around the world with over 20 hours of racing between the gold and the silver drivers. Incredible. Roberts all over the back of Gianni now, trying to find a way through the top 5, covered by a second. This is good, close battling. We look down from the chopper cam, the RaceKraft chopper, and there's your race leader leading them down this straightaway. Let's have a look at the speed. 200, what is it, just on 250 kph as the battle for the lead continues. Let's go down to the track cameras, because as they approach that 280 kph mark, Woods still in 3rd, doesn't want to go through. No one wants to lead this race. Watson leads it. I don't think anyone else wants to be out in front. They all just want to tow behind and save some fuel. William Stewart was very wide through there, almost chopped the nose right off Damon Woods. He luckily kept out of the way as he swung across the racetrack, but Roberts now also starting to look very racy. He's all over the back of Gianni and trying to find his way through. We've seen some big upsets tonight with a big crash between your race leader and Dylan Burse, our series leader, coming into the race. But this is what we came here for, a very different racetrack for F3 cars. But it is turning on the goods, and I'm sure Ruud Koistra will be sitting in race control loving every moment of this, which gives me a quick opportunity to head across and have a look at the race control guys and what they're up to at the moment. You can just see reviewing some incidents. So this is a live look at Lachlan Capella, think's race channel. So he's just watching this himself, just checking on a few things. That's what they do. And we've got a car crashed as Jaden Laddick, 25th place. Don't count this guy out. He's just done a fastest lap of the race, a 3:47. He's flying, and unfortunately, I think that was Rewalt who's crashed out of this race. Where is he? I'm just trying to pop on. James Rewalt has crashed. Well, there he is. So broken. And John.
That is a negative, John.
John Mazura there. He sounds like a very young fella, doesn't he? So he's out there racing well tonight. Currently sitting in 4th position. Oh, that was that stricken car on the racetrack.
That's safety car, sorry.
And
safety car, safety car, safety car. Everyone, please hold places.
Wow. So here we go. This is big. This is huge. So we've got that car. That's the James Rewald incident. And this is why we're going to a full course caution here, which will close the field up, and it will give, I tell you what, Jaden Laddick, this will give him a chance because he has taken fuel. He's made his stop, so has Hayden Millington and Caleb Hydes. So a couple of drivers there that may just get themselves back into this. So look at James Rewalt there. We'll have a look at his incident. This is why we've gone to a full course caution. His crash, obviously, on lap 3. Let's have a look.
Lane is open during safety car. Yes, you can pit during safety car.
Do you just lose the back? Oh, straight into the barrier. So he's just wiped it out and bang into the fence. And big incident there for Walt.
Back under comms, everyone, and because you've raced the rules and read the rules, you'll know that you can pit under safety car. Thank you for reading the rules, everybody.
Good job, Ruud Koistra there, just pointing out pointing out that, of course, if you've read the rules, you'll know that you can pit under a safety car. So I like that. He's just told the guys that are questioning the ruling, listen, if you actually bothered to read the rule book, and trust me, it is one of the best rule books you've ever seen in this series, you would know that you can pit. Now, what this will do, Marcus Watson didn't stop, Sean Malloy didn't stop, Jay Dixon did not stop, Damon Woods did. So he's leading this race effectively because the 3 drivers in front, yes, they're 12 seconds up the road, but not for much longer. And as we're under full caution here, full course caution, this will put Woods into first, Lutzu into second, Roberts into third. Now I'm looking back a little bit further and trying to find Jaden Laddick. He actually stopped again, Laddick, so not as good as I thought it might have been for him. But Dutton stopped, Newton stopped, William Stewart stopped as well. Gavin Nins didn't stop, and a few other drivers in there. So for Watson out in front, he's been caught with his pants down tonight. That is a shocker, not going into the pits. Watson, Malloy and Dixon. Unfortunately, that's going to cost them very, very dearly.
That are a lap down or more.
So we'll listen back into some race control now. Alex Newton with the 500 stars. Thanks, Alex. So lap cars are going through. And Alex with a comment there as well says, love your work, bud. Let's go, Team RaceKraft. And Judge Rue says, keep keeping them honest. Yeah, I love it. I think 14 rounds this season, there's a couple of times Rue's jumped in and he's just told them to pull their head in, and he's very good at that. I mean, you're running a tight ship here with over 40 competitors. What was it, 139 competitors have jumped in at some point throughout this series to have a run. So that's why they do this incredible PDF rule book. Everything's stated in there, from the get-go. The drivers should know exactly what they got to do. So pit strategy-wise, we'll have a look. It's Marcus Watson now is asking.
Not really, but you run out of fuel.
Is it a compulsory pit stop now? So his thought process right now is, I wonder how much fuel I can save and not have to stop at all in the race. Now, the reply from another competitor was, well, no, you don't have to stop, but you're going to run out of fuel. So 50-minute race, we're only 18.5 minutes in. And let's go across now and talk to some RaceKraft drivers if we can butt in here and have a chat. Hello, boys, and it's, safety car. We sort of expected one, but Gianni, how you doing, mate? You're up there in P5 now. There's 3 competitors in front of you that have not stopped though, so that is looking pretty good, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. Yeah, we're looking pretty good at the moment. Obviously, yeah, we sort of avoided all the carnage at the start, I guess, and yeah, we somehow made it through cleanly. I think everybody sort of underestimated how cold the tyres were, especially at turn 1 there. But yeah, obviously a few people, some main competitors actually, yeah, made a few mistakes and made a few incidents. So yeah, but we're looking good now. We've made our stops, so yeah, no, we'll see what we can do. But yeah, no, looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, so obviously the top 3, you got to be careful of them because they haven't stopped now. We heard Marcus on the chat there saying, look, can I just not stop and try and save fuel? So there might be a bit of fuel saving from the top 3. Damon Woods is the first competitor ahead of you that you're actually racing for position. So what's your plan on the restart here? Be attack or just be defensive?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. We'll just sort of, sit around and see where we sort of position the car and see what everybody else sort of does ahead of us. But yeah, I don't know how the guy out front is going to be able to get there on the end because the fuel burn here is obviously pretty high thanks to all the straights. But yeah, no, we're doing pretty good so far. So yeah, we'll see what happens really.
And Aaron, mate, unlucky getting that penalty, man. We didn't actually see the incident.
Yeah, I just my frame sort of dropped a bit in that first corner with all the cars and sort of ran into the back of someone, so I sort of put my hand up for the penalty, but we're still on the lead lap, so yeah, it's just going to be a fight back.
Yeah, and you've got some fast competitors. Obviously Dylan Burst behind you as well, Cody Deeth. There's some names in there that we see racing in these sort of series, and you're only, 5 places behind Jaden Laddick, who unfortunately had a big crash at the front end of the field, so your series leader is only 3 or 4 spots up the road.
Yeah, well, lucky for Jaden, he's flogged everyone all season, so he's probably got a bit of a points buffer to not stress about.
Is Chris still with us? Because we've lost his camera.
Oh,
yeah, he's still here.
I'm still here. I think my computer just prioritises my frames over my camera sometimes.
Fair enough, Chris, mate. You're in 14th place. Ready for the restart. Obviously, we'll let you guys get back to it shortly, but good luck, man. It's a tough one out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough ask. The carnage on the first lap. Just trying to mute all these clowns. It's a bit well tonight. The first corner there was a bit wild. I managed to get through, but got tagged I think by Caleb. I don't know who it was. They just didn't quite see me rejoining, but I didn't use the fast repair. So I must have been okay, but circulating okay, gathering some positions, which is much better than my qualifying effort, so trying to just finish at this straight.
Yeah, good luck. We'll let you get back to it and get ready for the restart. Good luck, boys. We'll chat to you at the end.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Alright, so that's the RaceKraft guys all in their little room. We're getting set for a restart here. So lap 5 into lap 6. Marcus Watson leads. Malloy and Dixon behind him. They have not stopped for fuel. They've missed out on that. And then you've got Damon Woods, Gianni Lutsu and Benjamin Roberts, the next 3 drivers currently, well, effectively on the podium. So we'll get set to go back to green. Marcus Watson will have control of the speed here, and he needs to make sure he doesn't go and then slow. He can obviously just get himself prepared, but when he does hit the throttle, that's when we officially go back to green and we can start racing again. So Uncle Hutto says this makes the fuel numbers interesting. It does, doesn't it? But I just don't think these top 3 could bring it home. We've still got, what is it, 28 minutes of racing, 27 and a half. It's still a long, long way to go here at Le Mans. And remember, it's wide open throttle for the majority of the lap, so it's not like you can really just sit back and save fuel. He's taking it very slow, Marcus Watson. There's a look out the back. Very, very, very slow as we come into this final little chicane area now. So get ready for them to hit the throttle. Someone's gone in the pits there from about 4th or 5th. I'm seeing who that was. I think it was Gavin Nins, was it? It was Nins. So Nins has decided to pit. I tell you what, Marcus Watson really backing the field up here. So interesting. There he goes now, back to green flag racing. He backed them right up to the line, which you're allowed to do. And they get away well. Dixon all over the back of Malloy. Watson got the jump, obviously. Roberts has pulled right out of the toe and has a look on the inside. Gianni Lutsu's on the outside with him. Lutsu settles back in behind. This is where we saw the big incident on the opening lap, and we see it again. So we see it again. There's 3 or 4 cars involved in it, and a massive crash back in the pack. Safety car breeds safety cars, and well, we've seen 4, 5, 6 cars once again get skittled down at this first big braking zone. So it's tough. Very, very low downforce and cold tyres. Hornet Racing in the house from Twitch. G'day, mate. As Watson leads us away. Dixon and yeah, Dixon, then Woods, Roberts and Lucy. You're right there. Full throttle through a yellow flag. I think that's. I think a few drivers just not really showing respect to their competitors there when there's a spin and backing out of it, and they're just plowing through. So. Once again, we've lost 3, 4 cars out of the race as Roberts goes down the inside on Dixon, moves himself up into the top 4. However, the 2 competitors at the front of this pack have not stopped. Marcus Watson leads Malloy, then Woods, Roberts, then it is Jay Dixon back to 5th now. Gianni Lutsu falls back into 6th place. Have a look as they go past. This is a great camera shot. Check it out. Flat out here. 280 kph with hardly a rear wing on the car, and into the braking zone again. Watson just ahead of Malloy. Woods will start to feel this pressure now from Benjamin Roberts. There is Roberts in behind, 2nd in the championship, Benjamin Roberts, and he's just done such a consistent great job across 14 rounds. Lutsu 3rd in the championship, now challenging Roberts. He's watching Jay Dixon as well, and this will go right down to the braking zone, but I think Lutsu also in a bit of a fuel saving strategy, trying to just get this to the end of the race now. We're all on board with him now. Let's have a look at the full race camera there. He's having a quick drink as the sun sets. How good does that look? The sun setting here at Le Mans and the temperature dropping. The grips should come to them in the last couple of laps of this race. Race control very busy handing out penalties. Let's have a quick listen. I think it's 5-second penalties being handed out here. Race control dishing him out, and deservedly so, as Roberts and Lutsu having a mega battle here. I love this. I know at the start of the broadcast he said, look, I did a bit of testing, that was all on that one. A bit of time making sure that this wasn't going to go dark. We remember to the race where it actually went pitch black on us. and also the race that was covered in fog. He stitched me up a couple of times, Rue Coister, but this time tonight he said, look, it's going to go sunset, it's going to look beautiful, and you're going to love it. And I am absolutely loving it, into the sunshine. But look at this now. Gianni Lutsu for RaceKraft Simulations Pink is battling Benjamin Roberts. Drive-through penalty, Cameron Edwards causing the incident on lap 6. Smash that, report those spammers please over on YouTube. I'll quickly put the block on them, but if you can also just report them, that'll help us keep the chat nice and clear of that sort of schmuck. Righto, let's have a look back in the pack a bit. Kobe Williams fighting with Sebastian Guest, and also Dennis Chosen there as well. Dylan Burst back behind. Cody Deeth, then John Baldwin, Aaron Gray for RaceKraft. Next in line, back in 22nd place, Jaden Laddick. Spun from the lead of the race, took Dylan Burst with him back in 24th place. Not the way he would have wanted to finish the championship tonight. They do have a live points tally, so we will have the winner of the series announced at the end of this broadcast, pending any investigations after the race. But Watson, Woods and Roberts currently top 3 in this race, and Marcus Watson out in front. He still needs to stop. He's in a bit of trouble. Let's jump on board again with Lutsu as he still continues to chase down Benjamin Roberts. This is your top 4. Let's turn up the sound and have a listen. There, Gianni Lutsu saving fuel by the minute and absolutely driving the wheels off that. RaceKraft Simulations pink entry for 4th place at this stage. Marcus Watson continues to lead, has not stopped. And look at that train of cars in the background. Hayden Millington currently 10th. Back in that list of drivers, Murray Vitani, and just behind Christopher Mitchell, there is Mitchell. Hardly a rear wing on these cars, and flat out. Let's have a look at the speed as it rises up towards 270, 280 kph. 6th gear into the braking zone again. And he fires it through. I'll tell you what, there's a good battle with Brett Baker as well. Sebastian Guest just ahead of him, running these generic F3A liveries on the car. They look good. That was Dave Roberts who put some time and effort into a stack of liveries on Trading Paints that anyone can run in these cars, which has been great, as Roberts now up into P2, gets ahead of Damon Woods. And Roberts is eyeing off a victory tonight. And, well, I wonder how the points in the championship will end up, with Laddick all the way back in 24th it was a minute ago. And where is he now? Jaden Laddick. He's dropped back even further, hasn't he? So Jaden Laddick is dropped back to 33rd place now. It took me, I had to scroll all the way down the screen to find him, as the 56 gets right into the back of Benjamin Roberts. Now, I don't know if Roberts will really appreciate any sort of bump draft here tonight. He wants to just do this by himself. Dear me. Yeah, the spam bots, it's getting quite nasty, isn't it? No live points standing, unfortunately. We can give you a pre-race standings, and I can tell you that Jaden Laddick came into the championship tonight on 1,802 points, 62 points clear. Benjamin Roberts. Now, we might try and go into race control. They're quite busy. If Rue's listening, maybe you can come over to the broadcast booth and just give us a little bit of an update on points and what's on offer tonight. And is there a chance Roberts could take this championship in the final race? So 62 points the difference. And hopefully Rue will hear this and he'll come across shortly. But it's coming down to the wire. It's really coming down to the wire now. Roberts, he's let Woods get back through. I don't think he's going to really overly try and push to get back past him until maybe the next back straightaway as he bounces over the curves. In the background, Gianni Laddick as well. Sorry, Gianni Lutsu. Not Jaden Laddick, Gianni Lutsu. 3rd in the championship. He was on 1,626 points, so over 100 points down, as Kobe Williams now does a new fastest lap of the race with a 3-minute 46.4. So incredible. And we'll see if we can't just grab Rue in for a second. You'll hate me doing this, but I might drag him. Oh, I can't drag him. I was going to drag him in mid-conversation to have a chat. But yeah, I think Roberts may have a chance of stealing this championship away from Jaden Laddick in the final race tonight, which would be absolutely incredible. So that's sad news. Azoka's asking permission to retire the car, and he's had it's been great having him throughout the season, but that's going to be the end of his race tonight by the looks of things. Lucas Burt says best series. Mate, it's been a great series. It's so well run. You got to give props to the guys over in Race Control. We've got Dave Roberts, Australian Formula Ford champion. Comes in, gives his time each week. Lachlan Capel, Ty Ratcliffe, and of course Rue Koistra, who's the maestro, making sure everything works to plan. And you just can't give these guys enough credit for the amount of time they put in to make a series like this happen. If you think you rock up and this just all happens within half an hour, believe me, there is hours and hours of work put into this behind the scenes by those guys each week. I've got the easy job. I log in, I watch it, I call it as I see it. Those guys do a mega job in the background. Let's watch this battle though, wheel to wheel. Kobe Williams, his quickest driver on the racetrack, has just got through, I think, and spins the car around. So from the fastest driver on the racetrack to now facing the wrong way, Kobe Williams, all that hard work out the window, sadly, as Rob Bowden battles here with Hayden Millington, the Tanked SRT driver. Moves his way up into 11th place now. Wowee. And look at Millington coming back at him in the background. You can see Guest fighting with Will Ryan as well. There's Will in the 111 Pace Syndicate entry. Nice job. 33 minutes into the race now. So the time ticking down. Jake Dixon's fighting with Newton. This is the battle for 6th place. We'll zoom in on this one. So there's the 402 of Jay Dixon, DFR, also in the team's championship, but Newton's just got through on him on the inside. I just can't believe the speed these guys are carrying tonight. Now Limasura goes down the inside, does he? He does, and this has brought now Christopher Mitchell back into play. He's in 9th place, up 15 spots. Current prediction, Benjamin Roberts is season championship by 20 points. There you go, FRG Race Control. Current prediction, I'll repeat it, Benny Roberts will win the championship by 20 points if things stay as they are now. So I told you he was listening. Rue Koistra is always listening. Now you can see as the leaders battle, Watson and Woods going wheel to wheel for the lead of this race. Remember, Marcus Watson still has not stopped. Now, surely Damon Woods knows that, and he doesn't want to get involved in any sort of silliness here. Roberts is happy just to sit in 3rd. The last thing he needs is to get tangled up with these drivers in front, and you can imagine from his seat as well, he's thinking, right, I've got to be ready. If these guys have a bingle in front of me and they spin and are across the racetrack, for example, the last thing he wants to do is go careering into them. So Roberts goes through the final chicane now. Gee whiz, he really attacks that, doesn't he? Oh, out onto the exit curb. Dutton did it as well. This is a great shot, in fact, to show the drivers how much they attack this final corner onto the pit straight. And, oh man, they are pushing the envelope, these drivers. But Watson out in front, yet to stop. Woods, let's have a look at the fuel numbers as well, because I know some people are asking about fuel. You didn't need much fuel to get home, says James Rue. And I can tell you, Benjamin Roberts took 4.47 seconds worth of fuel. We'll put the stoppage time up now over on the left-hand side of the screen. So there's the amount of fuel that was taken on board. 5 seconds for Woods, 4.4 for Roberts, 4.9 for Lutzu. And let's have a look at the strategy on the right-hand side of the screen. It shows everyone came in for that safety car except for Watson and Dixon. Jay Dixon in 8th place, also in a bit of bother. He has not stopped.
I've got to slow down for just
now, this is interesting. Roberts has just let Lutzu through. He didn't really put up a fight. I wonder if Ben's in a bit of fuel trouble here. Let's just listen in. We're 15 minutes to go now. Most of these drivers will have a fuel calculator. I've spoken about this before, which tells them a plus or minus number. Listen to that. He's definitely out of the throttle there. Down this straightaway, tucked in behind Lutzu. Now, Lutzu can't challenge Roberts for the championship. He's pretty much stuck in third in the championship. He'll secure that and take that home with him. But what Roberts can do now is maybe just spend the next 2-3 laps tucked up behind Lutzu, saving fuel so he can then have a run at him at the end. And whether or not, I reckon he'll still probably win the championship, even if he stays here in 4th place, which is ultimately 3rd spot once your race leader, Marcus Watson, who's now back in 2nd place, stops. James Rewalt says, can't believe I hit that light blue wall. Man, that was a big hit too. We caught it on the camera as Mitchell goes down the inside on Vitani and up into 8th place now. 16 spots forward for Chris Mitchell. Nice job. Moves himself through. He's been on the charge. You can look at 8 tenths on lap 6, 4.5, nearly 5 tenths on lap 7, and just over a 18 thousandths of a second there on lap 8 quicker. The guy in front as they continue to bump draft these guys. Gee, that makes me nervous when they do this.
Racing 77, lap 5.
Now what's that about? This is Mitchell. I reckon he's complaining about this. And they've got to stop this. This is Mario Vitanian bump drafting Chris Mitchell. Now that's what he's come on the radio and he's complained about, and fair enough. And he's actually given the position up. And if Race Control have a look at that, I'm not sure what the rules are, but in a Formula car, you surely you just do not make contact.
Bump drafting, especially if you hear the first time, and you're bump drafting someone who's been here the whole season, you'll automatically be ejected, or automatically eject you.
There you go. So Rude just laying down the law there. So he's been told to give the position back, has he? No, he hasn't. So now he's out of shape. So that's a pretty firm indication from Race Control that bump drafting is not allowed. And Vitanian was tappity-tapping on the back of Christopher Mitchell all the way down that back straightaway. And Mitchell, very rightly so, didn't enjoy that at all. He's complained to Race Control. Race Control have given a firm message, do not do it again. Watson in the pits from up in the top of the race here. That's ultimately going to end his chance for top 10.
Car number 7 requesting to retire the car.
And he's going to give it up too, so sad. You should carry on. But, you know,
Have a good night.
have a good night, says Race Control. Kids these days, they, you know, yeah, he got the wrong call with the safety car, but if he had read the rule book, he would have known that he could stop. And he's just going to park that up instead of coming home for a position. So Watson out of the race. Dixon into the pits too. I wonder if he'll retire. Sean Malloy also into the lane. The 3 drivers that didn't stop at the safety car period now come to the end of their fuel tank range and have to go in for a stop. So Woods leads, Lutzu 2nd, Roberts in 3rd, Ben Dutton hanging on to the back of 4th at the moment, and John Lemasure just back a little bit further. I'm just watching the attitude here of Roberts. Is he thinking about going back in front, or is he happy just to continue to save fuel? He took half a second less fuel in the pit stop than Gianni Lutzu. As we also see Cody Deeth, I think, battling with Dylan Burst now. There's a good battle with Rob Bowden as well. This is back in the order a little bit. There's Rob, Deeth and Burst, and then Kobe Williams, who has been super quick tonight. I think still holds the fastest lap of the race. 46.4. It is the fastest lap of the race. The race leader, Dame Woods, has done a 46.6. I think the only 2 competitors to jump into the 46s. Oh, back end, still wagging there for Williams. Great to watch. Aaron Gray's back into 18th now after a drive-through penalty as well, and fighting his way back up the order. Lutzu has just gone back to 4th as Dutton goes up into 3rd now. So we'll keep an eye on this battle at the front. The ever-changing, ever-evolving P2 battle right now between Roberts, Dutton and Lutzu. There they are, all 3 of them tucked together. You can see in the background Lesueur and Scott Newton now having a go.
Race Control request tow.
Oh, what's happened to Hyde? So you can just hear him requesting a tow too. And he's in the fence. I'm trying to work out where that's very damaged. So he's, I think, out of the way there on the other side of the racetrack. He's been given permission to tow. So he'll go back to the pits, end of race. Sadly for Hyde. So I'm not sure if there was someone else involved in that incident or he's just wiped it out himself. Let's have a quick look. Got up on the curb, and we're probably going to see the back end rotate as they do. Oh, you got a bit of understeer there, and and then he gets some oversteer off the curb, big slide and into the wall. End of the night for Caleb, sadly. So good to have him racing tonight in this final one, but sadly out of the race. We've got 9 minutes to go. Damon Wood leads 4 seconds. Gianni Lutsu sits in P2 and third in the championship. Can he get himself a second place tonight? He'll be very happy with that, and it's good to see RaceKraft represented and right up there at the top again, as they have been throughout the series. If he can hold on for this P2, it's going to also Triple E secure his third spot in the championship. There's a couple of drivers just running wide. There's Hayden, wheel to wheel here. Hayden, Millington, and Rob Bowden. There's contact. Millington got the worst of it. Hayden Millington drops back a little bit. Let's see if he has a chat to race control over that one. I don't think there was much in it. It was wheel to wheel through the S's. Now he's in the fence. I reckon he's got broken suspension. And that is sad to see this far into a race at Le Mans, 42 minutes in. And Hayden Millington, I think, is about to retire this car as he rolls to a halt there. So we'll just watch bottom of your screen. He's going to try and drag that back to the pits. The wheel's being held on by the tether, but just watch this wheel to wheel. Bowden was alongside. Yeah, it's probably a racing incident. Maybe didn't leave him enough space. But we'll see how they deem that. In the late stages of this race, we're just on 7 and a bit minutes to go. Big thanks once again to our sponsors as we come towards the end. It's we'll review some of the incidents at the end as well, so stick around for that.
You find them at
And who else has just crashed out? I think Hayden Millington has now just re-gone, or he's just gone back to the pits. So he was standing by for permission to tow. But as I was saying,
I'm not sure if it was just net code or lag, but just check.
Yeah, that's Millington just asking race control to check that wheel to wheel with Bowden. I think maybe a bit of net code in there, but through the S's at flat out speed. Contact was made, damage was done. Ben Dutton's had a good performance tonight, 4th place, sitting behind Benjamin Roberts, 1 step off the podium. He's carried enough pace tonight to maybe sit himself on the podium. They fancied it in the last lap or two, depending on the fuel for the 2 drivers in front. Ben Dutton took the most fuel out of Lutzu and Roberts and himself, so the 505 endurance driver, the 555. I reckon he may fancy standing on the podium. But we've got 2 drivers in for the series, 1st and 3rd, in the top 3 in this race. And in all that, where is Jaden Laddick? 29th position. So see if we can just challenge our admin team to maybe do a quick running score again on how it's going to end up. I reckon it looks like Benjamin Roberts is going to secure himself a win in this F3A World Tour, which Jaden Laddick has led the majority of the series. It's been such great racing between them. We've seen some classic encounters of wheel-to-wheel racing, and quite often probably some of the most clean racing I've seen in any series. And I've been around the world in 2 years. I've done 571 of these broadcasts, so I've seen some wheel-to-wheel racing. But these guys in Formula cars, where if you tangle it becomes a plane crash, these guys have really turned it on. And it's a credit to the drivers, but also the series organisers, as Lutzu now has a look. And he has a big look at Roberts. I think Roberts doesn't really push too hard. So we're on board with Lutzu now, looking back. And this new camera shot for the final race tonight just shows him working the steering wheel. Paper thin rear wing at the back as well. You can see Dutton hanging on for 4th as he clicks through the gears with that paddle shift. Direct drive wheel. Look at, I reckon that's a nervous leg shake he's got going on there. You can just see him, the nervous energy towards the end of this race. P2. Can he get himself a win? I don't think so. 5.3 seconds is the gap to Damon Woods, who looks very comfortable to bring this home for a win tonight. What I am interested in is Damon Woods is just coming down to cross the start-finish line shortly, and according to the timer, we're going to have about 4 and a little bit minutes to go, so we may get the extra lap here. So current prediction, Benjamin Roberts is the season championship by only 8 points. So as he sits there in third place, it's only 8 points. And I'm not sure Jaden Laddick knows that, but that would give him some encouragement. Now, let's have a look where he is. He's currently 2 seconds behind Ellis, 17 seconds behind Lee Hardy, and then 21 seconds behind Mekas, who is in 26th place. So it's going to take a bit of work for him to make up a few more positions. But if iRacing and the gods of iRacing make them run the extra lap, which it very well could do, will some of these drivers be in big fuel issues, because they do tend to fuel them pretty tight. And what I mean by that is 46.5 minutes into the race, it's a 50-minute time certain race. We've probably got about 3 minutes to go in this lap, which will put us at 49.5 minutes. Now, if iRacing decides to pull it there and pull the curtains down and drop the checker flag, they're probably all safe. As Barker goes for a bit of a slide. Blanket approval for Toe there as Dylan Burst sets a new fastest lap of the race, a 3-minute 46.2. But what I'm saying is, if they get made to do that extra lap and that throws all the fuel calculators out, there could be some big issues. In the background you can see there's the battle for second. Someone's absolutely clobbering the cones prior to the chicane back there. Oh, there's a Kobe Williams. Oh, there's a big dust up. Williams, and here's the other one is Deeth. So Cody Deeth and Cody Williams. Kobe Williams and Cody Deeth have just got together in a big way, and that's a big crash. Let's have a look at that. So that was. So there was the cones being attacked in the background, and then Deeth loses the back end, gets collected, and into the fence he goes. So that's why that's just turned into carnage there. And, he's been told to tow. So Woods leads. Where are we? We're beyond halfway through the lap now. And Roberts P2. Classic. Lutsu third. Dutton in fourth. Newton still holding on to 6th place, and he's getting closer to that 5th place. It's only 0.8 of a second. We're now 70% of the way through this final lap. We're going to ride with your race leader, Damon Woods. Will they call this a checker flag? 1.5 minutes to go and about 40 seconds in lap time to go. You could almost afford just to back off a little bit here to try and ensure that this is the last lap. But there's a big risk involved in that as well, isn't there? Because it's only a 6.9 second gap back to Roberts. Lutsu all over the back of Ben now, goes wheel to wheel, and Dutton's going with him. I reckon these guys can sense this is the last lap of the race. And I'm guessing that, but Roberts, remember, this is for the championship. If he has any sort of bingle now and loses a couple of positions, it's curtains. And whether or not he knows that, I don't know. But Benjamin Roberts is fighting for his life here. This has been 14 rounds of racing coming down to this moment. Now, will iRacing pull the checker flag? We've still got 45 seconds to go in the race. There's still a chicane to go here for Damon Woods. Let's keep an eye on the iRacing top left of your screen. I reckon they're going to have to do another lap here. He wiggles his way through the final chicane, and we get set for one more lap of this race. 30 seconds to go on the timer, one extra lap. This could be crucial for anyone who's short on fuel. So Benjamin Roberts continues on. How many heads have just sunk in the cockpits of these cars as they realise that their fuel isn't going to make it to the end of this very long 13.5 kilometre lap here at Le Mans. Wow. And Steve Casillas with a great point too. He's just said that Cody and Kobe incident could give Laddick those 8 points he needs. So it is not over. I always say it's not over till the fat Lukey sings. And I ain't singing tonight. As we watch Mitchell chasing Burst and Rob Bowden in behind there for 2 for Tanked SRT. Chris Mitchell now up into 9th place. Oh boy, I would love a live update now if our race control guys are listening and our stewards. Because where is Jaden Laddick? 27th now. So he's in 27th place. Roberts is in 2nd place. Only just. Here comes Lutsu. We're 30% of the way through the final lap of this race. We've got another crash. Williams is off and in the fence. That's the end of Kobe Williams now. That'll be a retirement, broken suspension. And okay, and also Kieran Ellis has just gone out of the race too. Laddick has got through up into 27th, soon to be I think 26th. So Laddick may still get Millington here, and that'll put him in 26th place. Kobe Williams has dropped out, so that'll put him up into 25th place. And oh boy, I think Jaden Laddick may still sneak through and take this championship by a couple of points, as Dylan Burst and Rob Bowden battle with Christopher Mitchell as well. Halfway through the final lap of this race, Bowden all over the back of Mitchell, Mitchell all over the back of Burst. So Williams has retired from the race. So is Chris Barnes, by the way. So Chris Barnes for Tanked SRT's out of the race. This will bring Laddick, I think, up into 24th. I'm just trying to do my calculations here. I'm thinking 24th place when this is all said and done. And, oh boy. What will Roberts be thinking right now with 40% of this final lap to go? Roberts holds on to second place as Lutzer gets through. This battle for second in this race could be the championship decider. Lutzer now in front. And look at Roberts, he's desperate. He's desperate down the inside. Roberts having a go. I think he's given the position back as Dutton wags the tail in the background. Roberts made a bit of contact there and he gave the position straight back to Lutzu. Damon Woods is streaking off into the distance to win this one. But that was an interesting one because Roberts knows he needs to be an extra position up the road. Now he has another shot at him. We'll have a look at the contact, bottom of your screen. And this is why Roberts had to give the place back. And, oh, it's coming down to the wire. Roberts alongside Lutzu again, this time down the inside. There was the contact that I was talking about. This time Roberts goes through, up into P2. And does Lutzu know this is for the championship? Surely he doesn't. And here's your race winner. Damon Woods is going to bring it home. Benjamin Roberts to win the championship by 2 points is the prediction as we head into the last couple of corners. And Damon Woods will take the checker flag. Congratulations, Damon. Fantastic win to win the final race here, but coming down to the wire, Benjamin Roberts will take second in the race, and that'll make him the series champion for the World Series, F3A World Series. Benjamin Roberts has taken P2 ahead of Gianni Lutzu, who will take third in the championship. And Jaden Laddick has been robbed of the championship tonight. He's all the way down after that spin, and well, he did it himself. He lost the back end of the car, and he'll have no one else to put the blame on except for that little mistake, which has sadly cost him a championship tonight. John Lemercier gets 5th behind Dutton. Scotty Newton gets 6th. Vitani in 7th. Burst, Bowden and Christopher Mitchell will round out your top 10 tonight. But we'll wait for the final series results to be given to us, but it looks like this man, Benjamin Roberts for Mini Muscle Cars Machine Colt, has taken a victory in this final round. Damon Woods, let's give him some credit as well as Vitanian does the naughty and turns him round, but give him some credit. That's a fantastic win and well deserved as well. We'll get the full results up shortly. We'll also bring the drivers across for a chat, and then we'll bring everyone in. We've got to give away that $99 VRS package as well tonight, so don't go anywhere. You ain't seen the end of it yet. So was this the moment in the championship for Jaden Laddick? Let's have a look. We'll take it all the way back. Slow it down. Jaden Laddick lost the back end of the car. Dylan Burst made some contact. And, well, let's just back it up right to the moment he went across that curb, because you can see as he came through the corner, the back end got excited. He put the opposite lock in, tried to collect it, but the championship leader at that point. Maybe if it wasn't for that burst contact, he may have got away with it. Huge damage into the fence, and sadly, that was, put him right on the back foot for what would be a tight run to the flag. But it looks like Benjamin Roberts has won the championship by 2 points. Can you believe the Mini Muscle Cars Machine Cold entry with the drive of his life tonight? P2 in the race and a win in the championship. We'll confirm all that shortly. We'll head across to the broadcast booth now and wait for some competitors, and of course Roy requested to come in and confirm all that with us. And as soon as iRacing makes it available to us, we'll bring you the results as well. It's such a long in-lap here that it may take a little while for iRacing to sort all that out. And what do you reckon, folks? 2 points in the championship? Incredible. So we're just going to wait. Congratulations, there you go. Benjamin Roberts, Season 10 champion for the F3A World Series, being confirmed. And that is heartbreak for Jaden Laddick, like I said, but he'll still get second in the championship. And Gianni Luzzi will take third in the championship. So we'll try and quickly bring in, first of all, some drivers. So we'll get Damon Woods. We'll give him a minute or two if he wants to come and chat. If he doesn't, that's all good as well. We'll move on to our next people, but I'm not seeing him in there yet. So in fact, we haven't got any of the drivers yet. We've got Gianni. Let's bring Gianni in. So Gianni, while we're just waiting for the other guys to come in, mate, I'll quickly grab you, and Benjamin's here as well now. So I'm just waiting on Damon Woods to come in before we then go through the formalities of talking about the race win there, but the championship win. And Benjamin, you have been crowned the champion by, I think, a 2-point margin in the end. We'll come to that shortly. But first of all, Damon, let's quickly say congratulations, man, for the win in this final race, round 14 of the championship. Well done tonight, man.
Thank you, Luke. It was a good race out there. I got a bit lucky, to say the least, with Jaden and Dylan crashing on the first lap, but able to bring it home in the end, which is all good.
You did well to avoid that incident. It was a big one, and you chose the right-hand side to go, and it was a good choice, mate, with what, a fraction of a second to make that choice.
Yeah, it was a close choice there. It was hard, to say the least, but it was a good race.
Mega job, man. I'm going to go straight to your thank yous before we bring the championship winners in and the podium for the championship. But Damon, winning the race tonight, who would you like to thank, mate? You got any sponsors?
No sponsors, but I'd like to thank the Lime Green Machines. We'll have a look who they are. We've got Cody Deeth, like a big thanks to him. Dylan Burst, awesome job by him. Kobe Williams, can't say much more about him. Caleb Hides, big shout out to Big Clube. And old Mario Vartanian. Awesome job, boys.
Excellent job tonight. Well done with the win tonight, Damon. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right, Benjamin Roberts, P2 in the race, but, well, looks like you have won the championship, man. And I'm going to bring Jaden in at the same time because it's going to be heartbreak for him, but it looks like by the narrowest of margins and some misfortune for Jaden tonight, you've taken this Season 10 out by a whisker, man. Well done.
Thanks so much, Luke. Holy shit. I can't believe I pulled that off. I'm shaking right now in the seat.
It's, it came down to the wire. Did you have any indication that you still had to maybe make another place up just in case Jaden was going to come through an extra couple of positions? Or what was the thought process? Because you were battling wheel to wheel with Gianni right to the end there.
I knew, with Jaden where he was, I needed at least second, and first wasn't really on the cards. So I had to really give it everything and sort of race as hard as I dare with Gianni. I think I neck coded him or something, and I let him go the first time, and then I went down the outside of him, and then I was just desperate at that point.
Incredible racing, and Gianni, mate, you've got yourself third in the race, and I think third in the championship too. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks so much, Luke. And Ben, really, really, really damn good work to you, man. You 100% deserve it this season. You've done well every single race, and I couldn't keep up with either you or Jaden for most of them, so tops to you. But absolutely amazing race. It's awesome way to end out the season. We've obviously now taken on the teams championship, I believe, and obviously secured third in the championship. And I'm honestly lost for words there. That was, if not the best battle. I say that about every battle, but that was an an incredible battle, honestly. And yeah, I hope it looked good on the live stream because yeah, it definitely felt good in the cockpit. But yeah, I'm lost for words. It was amazing season, and yeah, thanks to all of you guys for holding it.
Incredible job, man. And Jaden, we come to you now, mate. Second in the championship, heartbreak tonight. That crash. Oh man, we're just watching another replay of it now, and just tell me what went through your head at that point, man.
Well, I have to say the first one was my fault. So I don't know what the hell happened, but the second one couldn't do anything. It's just what happens when you get a bunch of idiots on the track. So yeah, nothing else.
Yeah, that's just tough, man. The back end, obviously running the most minimal amount of downforce tonight, and the back end just letting go on you. And I reckon, like, I'm going to go on your side here, but I reckon you had it caught, but that contact from behind them was the final straw on that first slide.
Yeah, I did save it, but I mean, I was too close to him, so he was going to hit me either way.
So tough, man. And you have led the championship throughout the whole season. To come down to the wire and lose it in this matter, it's heartbreaking, man. But hold your head high. We've loved watching you race. You've carried incredible speed. I'm sure Ben and everyone here, Gianni, and also Rue, who's here, will just back this up. Some of the tracks, I think it was Spa, where you're just, you're on a different universe.
Well, he came from a different universe, really, didn't he? So, like, Jaden is out of this world. So it's actually surprising to see the result. It just goes to show you that it can come down to the wire. And I must admit, I did have a little chuckle with that last comment from Jaden. You have one person that can ruin it for you, and you've got yourself, but you've also got environment that you've got to deal with. And it's a shame. We were so excited. We were calculating constantly, and to come down to the wire like that, like, kudos to Jaden. Like, that was just a solid season from him.
Well, I didn't see the second incident, but I can tell you right now, I'm out there doing a bit of investigating right now to try and find it. I want to know who the idiot was. But yeah, mate, you had your hands full in race control route tonight, obviously, with a lot of drivers coming in and not reading the rule book, which I love. I think one of your comments tonight was you didn't read the rule book, you idiot, or something like that.
Something like that. Well, look, I was pretty salty because I've had some technical issues at the start of the race. I actually couldn't hear anyone.
Right.
I don't know how it happened, so I had to do a full reset and a reboot. And by the time I came back, I was fuming, and I came back to people asking questions that were, everyone knows the answers, and I'm like, oh, come on, man.
Yep.
You've just turned up to this final of a season that's 14 weeks long, and you haven't read the rules. So I was, a little bit salty about it, but people did that at the start of the season when we were tolerant and we catered for them. But I don't know. There was something about that situation that just made me go, oh, come on, man.
Yeah. Well, we got a fair bit to get through as far as drawing the VRS prize and that, but let's give the drivers in championship order a chance to thank their sponsors and anyone they want to thank, because it's been 14 rounds over 16 or 17 weeks. It's been a huge part of what I've been doing as well. I've absolutely loved this, and sometimes it can become a chore, but to log on here Tuesdays and do F3A is always magnificent. And props to all the admin that have made that the way it is also, but the driver's incredible. So let's start with Benjamin Roberts, your season 10 champion for the F3A FRG World Series. Ben, who would you like to thank, man?
Massive thanks to yourself, Luke, to Rue and Lockie and Ty and all the other guys in the stewards room. Thanks, of course, to Ran at Machine Cult, Dream Simulation, and just everyone else, who, all the other competitors, and everyone who's watched this series. And I should say all the series sponsors as well. They've all been a massive help.
Sure have, mate. And Mini Muscle Cars was a part of that too, with some round sponsorships. So big thanks to Mini Muscle Cars. And go check them out if you haven't already. Go to Facebook, Mini Muscle Cars, and get right behind what Benny's dad does, Gaz. It's incredible. So check that out. Let's go to P2 now. So in the championship, and Jaden, man, it's still heartbreaking, but P2 in the championship, who would you like to thank, mate?
Thank yourself, Luke. The series, the race control, most participants, viewers, my friends for being in VC with me. Most of it was fun, so I'm not too heartbroken, but yeah.
Will we see you again, mate, next season?
Depends on my schedule.
Fair enough. It's been great having you, man. Congratulations on P2 in the championship. Then P3, a man who's given us full access throughout the season to his web camera through thick and thin. Gianni, well done, mate. Congratulations, P3, and bringing a podium in the championship for RaceKraft Simulations.
Thanks so much, Luke. Yeah, obviously, first of all, big thanks to Roo and obviously you, Luke, and everybody involved with holding the series and, you know, being able to show it on the TV and all that stuff. And yeah, we just wouldn't be here without you guys. So big thanks to you. And yeah, just a massive thank you to RaceKraft Simulations and John Lee for, you know, all of his support throughout this series so far. Well, throughout this whole series, and, you know, for believing in me and, you know, believing I can do it. And, you know, obviously now he's provided me with all the goods, and yeah, now I've got the triple screen set up at the rig, so I'm set to go for a long time now. But yeah, no, big thanks to Tip, and obviously big thanks to all the boys, Aaron, Chris, Kieran, you know, Andrew, Benno, John, you know, everybody. We just wouldn't be out. We wouldn't be out here and doing so well without all of them, you know, supporting me and supporting each other. And yeah, just lost for words. And it's great to, you know, be up so high in my debut season in Formula 3. And yeah, 100% going to be back next season. And yeah, see if we can challenge Benno to the top of the championship.
Absolute legend. Thanks, guys. That's your top 3 in the championship. Benjamin Roberts is crowned the winner. Jaden Laddick, P2, and Gianni Lusu, your top 3. Congratulations. Now, Roo, we've got plenty to get through, and I'll give you, you can be the boss of dragging anyone in that big group of people above us in the green room that you want in for the party.
All right.
I know Christopher Mitchell definitely needs to be here because he's been a sponsor and a big part of it, but we need to talk about VRS and do that spinning wheel of death.
All right. Well, if we're going to do VRS, let's talk about the VRS prizes. We've got the spinny wheel thing for the viewers, but we also have 2 others to give away to drivers, and we talked about what was the best way to do this, because we can't just give it to the top people. They don't need VRS. So we decided to give 2 away. One person's not here, so we'll just speak to him about him first. Darren Lassou gets a VRS prize. Awesome. The reason is he has raced every single week and has come in at the lowest points for someone who has raced every single week. And I know that's sort of like a bit of a diss, but this dude has turned up every week, even though he hasn't scored huge points. And I'm going to read out some stats with him as well. Out of the entire season, he's only had 64 incidents, which works out under 5 incidents per race.
Yep.
So he's actually almost the best person as far as low incident scoring. He's turned up every time, and he's hasn't done well. He's always been silver, never gotten gold, but he's always turned up. He's always put in. He's always represented the season. So 100% he gets the VRS prize there.
Excellent.
So woo, Darren Lassou. The other one is Scott Pocock, and the reason is he has done the most amount of laps in the pre-qualifying. So for everyone that's come to do the pre-quali to try and get into gold, Scott has done 1,090 laps.
Wow.
Just to qualify. He's done more laps than qualifying than he's done racing.
Incredible. Well done, Scotty.
Oh, well, I had, a bit of a love-hate relationship with that bloody pre-qual. You had to dedicate a lot of your weekend to it, especially early on. It was really tough to get through to the gold race. Unfortunately, I didn't quite make it in here at Le Mans, but thanks to Roo and the crew in admin there. They put a lot of effort into these races, and I don't think there's a lot of everyone thanks them a heap, but geez, they do put a lot of effort in, so thanks to them. And I'd like to thank the DFR guys as well. I sort of jump in and they help me through all this sort of stuff, so thanks to them, and the Thursday crew. Love those guys, so thanks a lot.
And a VRS package coming your way. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's awesome. I heard there's some Ripper aliens that get on the VRS and help people out, so it's love to give it a go.
And speaking of dedication, I'm just going to read off some stats for Scott. He averaged just under 100 laps per week for pre-quali. and his incident count was 5.92 per race. So that's so low. So that's paid off just by doing those laps.
Oh yeah.
And as of last week, not this week, he was 13th overall. Just from doing all those laps. So 12th overall. So putting those laps in, that seat time really does help.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Awesome. All right, we got to move on now to the spinny wheel, don't we?
Yeah, let's do the spinny wheel.
So I need to do a bit of preparation because I noticed there's a few people still entering. Is that allowed?
Look, whenever you cut and paste, that's it. That's the cut-off.
Right, we're doing it right now, so I'm going to do the cut and paste. So
yeah.
Do I do this live? I should do this live, shouldn't I, so people know that this is legit. So let me just quickly do this. This is a bit unprofessional, but here we go. So there it is. So you got a clean wheel, which you guys can't see, but I'm going to paste it in. And in fact, what I'll do, at the risk of blowing my my computer up here, I'm going to actually go live on my screen so you guys can see this live, because I know there's always that awkward delay. So let me just quickly send my OBS live, just like so. All right, so now you guys can actually watch what's going on my screen here. All right, let's bring the other screen back in to play full screen. All right, so all the names are pasted in. There's over, I think, a couple of hundred entries here for this VRS competition, and we're going to spin the wheel. Are you ready? Can you guys still hear me? I bet you they can't.
Can still hear you.
Oh, you still hear me? You're all still there? I thought you were all gone missing.
No.
Right, because I've blanked out that other screen now. Right, so we're ready to spin the wheel. Let's put on the crazy. I think I've still got the crazy music here somewhere. Here it is. Spin, spin, spin. Round she goes. Where she stops, no one knows. So this is the winner of the VRS for the fans and the drivers competition that they could enter each week with a code word. As it slows down, it's going to stop on. Oh, I just saw Andrew Johnson go through. Cooper just goes through. Jacob Mabry just goes through. Very close to Daniel Kamen, or is it Ben Dutton? It's on the line. I think it's going to be Ben Dutton. Ben Dutton is your winner. So a man that finished 4th in the race wins the spinny wheel. All right, how's that? Roo, did you hear all that? Oh my God, are they still there? Roo, are you there?
I think. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I muted myself because I was pouring drinks and I didn't want to hear the ice and shit going on because what I was doing. But yeah, anyway, well, it's only fair that someone that's turned up and scored 4th, for a bit of kudos at the end, get this awesome prize. So good on you, Ben.
Ben Dutton, well done. Yeah, so he's got the VRS prize as well. So that's great. That finishes those formalities anyway.
Yeah, absolutely, and we always thank VRS for coming on board. Julian's a legend, loves his hot wings. He's loves his hot wings and whiskey. Actually, he's a bit of a dude, and it's good that they come on board every season and sponsor this. So we're pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm just going to drag a few of the RaceKraft guys in.
Yeah, get the RaceKraft people in. So it's official. RaceKraft has won. They are the champions team-wise by 9 points, I believe. So it's come down to the wire, 9 points. They are completely superior.
Hell yeah. That's been a hard-ass slog, man. That's awesome.
Oh, 14 weeks of bloody... 14 weeks of absolutely hustling Formula 3s. Oh my God.
Oh, we're going to drag Aaron Gray in here.
I did drag him in and he bugged out.
Here we go. Aaron Gray.
Yes.
Shows up for the last week.
Makes it happen.
Better late than never, mate.
The team's champions.
Well done. So, it's been a lot of teams, Roo, competing for that. But, yeah, RaceKraft have risen to the top.
Yes, the people that sponsored the league won. So I think that they were kind of just, pulling it out for everyone and just wearing the cape and just showing what they've got, just showing the immense class that they have. So that is totally amazing. I think they're strutting their shit a little bit at the moment, aren't they?
We're feeling it. Don't worry.
I think I think there's a little bit of I don't know, Saturday Night Live. I can hear a bit of funk. You're wearing flares that could knock over trash cans. You're all strutting. I feel there's a lot of pride, and so there should be. If you've looked at RaceKraft and their outfit and the people that hang out and frequent. They're all a bunch of awesome dudes. So like, I'm just so happy that they've won by this marginal of amounts. And kudos to DFR Blue for getting so close as well.
For sure.
Pushing these dudes, pushing.
That's it. And Chris has been a sponsor as well. So big thanks, Chris, for your part. And also not just that, but each week the messages that you send me with all that detail, man. I don't know how long it takes you, but you save me hours each week. So thank you.
No problems, man. It's part of when I get bored at work. I hope my boss isn't listening for that one. But nah, it's a pleasure to be part of something. I know how much goes into generating these broadcasts and the effort you put in and the knowledge you have to build in the back of your mind. Being of blokes of similar type, so I know it's a lot of effort. Any help I can chip in is absolutely my pleasure. But man, to be part of this RaceKraft crew is pretty sick. And big thanks to Johnny, watching right now in Vietnam. Live while he's on his bit of his world tour, for having the faith in us and our motley crew of ring-in drivers, because Aaron decided he wanted to work FIFO, so we had to bring in the likes of Kieran, and it would be remiss without shouting out to the one and only Julesy, who racked up the highest single race incident points and never came back.
Oh, very good. Thanks to the boys there on screen, all four of them, for their part in giving us full access. And we've loved every safety car. Has been great to be able to jump in and chat to you guys and give us those little tips on restarts and what's going to happen. So thank you, and looking forward to next season. Roo, we've got to wrap it up.
We absolutely do, but I just want to say thank you foremost to John. What a legend for just making this all happen. And 100%. he did say that if they won, he would sponsor it all again just so they can go back to back, because
he wants to beat Toto Wolff's record.
He does. He does absolutely. He wants to go back to back. He wants to fly the flag. So we'd be really happy for him to come on board again. I just want to thank Andrew Racing, KECG, CM2, of course, who's sitting right here, and who's our other sponsor? Oh my god, I've forgotten who it is, but that's what happens when you've got this big list that you've lost and's fallen on the floor to your feet. But we thank you so much. All the sponsors have come in. You guys make it happen. Oh, Mini Muscle Cars, how could I forget? Mini Muscle Cars, how good are they?
Yep.
Just that they come on board and support this racing and local racing. So,
Sapwood as well. Thanks, Sapwood.
Yeah. We'd love to have them next time round. We've got a lot of things coming up. We've got a new season, hopefully Formula Battle, which it's going to be completely batshit crazy. It's going to be almost like a battle royale, except cars, which could be really cool. Possible endurance coming out. Formula Masters also needs to have another go. And then people have already asked me when the next F3A is going to be. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. But we just want to thank everyone that's come down and watched and raced, and we just want to come back bigger and stronger and just make it fun for everyone.
For sure, it's been mega. So thanks, Roo, for all your input, and everyone else over in Race Control too. Dave Roberts, Lachlan Capel, and Ty Ratcliffe, absolute legends.
Bunch of legends, and they've just made it so much better. Lachlan, probably one of the most competent race safety car drivers, apart from missing a couple of entry points there in England, where he thought he was racing and not an actual safety car. But apart from that, he was awesome. David, for his amazing expertise in a lot of the calls, he's got 40 years experience in all his calls. And Ty, who is a bit of a whiz, who gave us the many things he's given us, but one of them was the live pre-quali results, and it's been such a success to see people log in, have a look, and go, "Ooh, someone's beating me. I better go in there and set a time." And it's been really the pre-quali is actually very exciting. So we thank Ty for that. Amazing dude. We hope he stays with us.
Yeah, fantastic. Righto. Well, one final word from Benjamin Roberts, your season 10 champion. Any last words before we close it out, Benny?
Just thanks to all of you boys for making this heaps of fun.
Legend. And Roo, we'll see you soon, mate. We've got a bit of time off now. You definitely deserve a couple of Tuesdays to put your feet up and drink some red wine.
Already happening.
Righto. Thanks, legends. Thanks to the RaceKraft guys. Thanks, everyone. And we'll catch you again soon.
Thanks, Luke. Thanks for being awesome. Much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in. It's been so much fun just doing this every Tuesday night for 14 weeks. I'm going to miss it, but I'm also going to enjoy a bit of time off now. But how good was the finish to this race? Your heart goes out to Jaden Laddick losing the championship by 2 points in the final round, but Benjamin Roberts, well, he ran it to the end and he won it. So congratulations, Ben. Your series championship for mini muscle cars and machine cult, Benjamin Roberts, your winner. Thanks everyone that tuned in throughout the season. There's so many people, too many people to thank. Tonight was a star party and a half too, so massive thanks to Alex Newton, Graham Ellis, Peter, Kieran, Christopher, Stephen, Keith, Naomi, Tiffany Haley, and Keith even at the start. You guys are absolute legends. Until next time, I'm Luke. This is RaceStars TV. This has been FRG's F3A Formula 3 Australia World Series Season number 10. Till next time, let's finish on a bit of RaceKraft. Good night.
Using the RaceKraft PT1 custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 8040 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with a 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a RaceKraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The RaceKraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.